Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
If you want a first-class, top-of-the-line, high-quality interior remodeling job, you know who I'm going to suggest. Collier & Thompson. Known for their kitchen and bathroom remodels, Collier & Thompson is where you go when you want your remodeling job done right the first time. Collier & Thompson doesn't just do large remodeling jobs. They do plenty of man caves, bars, offices, pretty much anything inside your home. Check out their 10,000-square-foot showroom next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House on Manchester. Let them bring your dream remodel to reality. CollierandThompson.com.
The Illinois Recovery Center is dedicated to providing precise and authentic care to those seeking help and treatment. Recovery, it's not just a goal, it's a transformative journey. At Illinois Recovery Center, you'll find an unwavering commitment to provide the support, guidance, and personalized care you or your loved one needs to rediscover a life filled with purpose, strength, and lasting renewal. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is now right at your fingertips here in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited about launching our Circus Sports app in Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high betting limits, tight money line splits, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Start betting like a pro from anywhere in Illinois.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
This is wide receiver Luther Burden III. Come support NIL and get a quote from my friend James Carter.
Thanks, Luther. That's right. For every quote you mention Luther Burden III, we'll make a donation to NIL on your behalf. Check us out online at carltoninsurance.net, 314-961-4800.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s, and now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hannon with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC-registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor. It does not provide tax advice.
Ready to step your game up to the next level? 5P Academy is the place for any high-level 8 to 18-year-old football player. Based in O'Fallon, Missouri, we have national travel, 7-on-7, and flag football teams with professional coaches. Pre-registration for our 2025 season tryouts in November is open now. Come be a part of the championship-winning 5P family. For more details, email info@5pacademy.com or call Dustin at 314-440-8457.
Hey you, it's Dr. Pryor. If your mouth's been getting more action from late night pizza than it has from a toothbrush, it's time to come see me. At 100 West Dental, we know how to clean up your act and your smile. Whether it's overdue cleanings, a chipped tooth from a wild weekend, or just getting that fresh, I'm definitely not hungover grin, we got you covered. Look, we know you're not shy, so why shy away from getting your teeth right? Book your free consultation at 100westdental.com and let's give you something to smile about. Because hey, you deserve to be as smooth as Tim's golf swing.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experience the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Watch TMA on YouTube. Click the bell to subscribe. Download the podcast. Find it at tmastl.com or wherever you podcast. And check us out on TikTok at TMASTL.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster, so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at tmastl.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at tmastl.com. KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA all day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Welcome to the Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Come on in. The water is warm. It's Monday. September 16th. It's a sunny day in the St. Louis area, although this show, of course, not just really nationwide, global at this point.
Oh, you think so? We're big in Turkey?
Yeah, the hair transplant community.
Oh, yeah.
Morning, boys. Let's make it a great week and love one another. Thank you. That's from the Pensacola Porpoise. New texter. Good to have
Not
him.
Jake, but the new fellow.
That used to be the O'Fallon Possum. I changed it. He requested to change the Pensacola
And you're the one to send name change requests to?
Yeah.
Schaefer Door Company text inbox is 314-881 TMA5 if you want your name changed. DM Jackson on his Insty.
Don't do that. That's a way to not get your name changed. Just text it in. Let's not go to multiple platforms here. I'm a one platform kind of guy.
Are you really? Okay.
Well, in this case, I certainly am.
Let me go to the YouTube. I'm not on the YouTube.
Well, get on there.
All right. What do we got going on here? Callier and Thompson phone line, 636-900-4TMA. Schaefer Door Company, text inbox, 314-881 TMA5, and email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Jake Reynolds did lead it off. Morning, boys. I hope everyone had a great, safe weekend. How about that, Doug?
That is nice. That is so nice. Because sometimes we come in here thinking, oh, it's Monday morning, we're dragging, we're hound dogging it.
I like that, hound dog.
Yeah. and to get that kind of pat on the rump is just really nice. I feel better about things now.
He's a special spirit.
I didn't think I was going to be much good to you before. Just because Missouri won a football game and fell in the rankings, and I thought that alone might be enough to get my dauber down.
You went to the game, right?
I did. Yeah, and I think I would have downgraded him a notch, too, in the rankings based on what I saw. But, hey, I still don't like it.
Uh-oh. Colonel's going to be with us at 9 o'clock, brought to you by James Carlton. Why would you have downgraded them in the rankings?
I just didn't think they played very well at all. I know they were like the only team that played another top 25 team. But they were really poor in that first quarter. Turned it on a little bit in the second half. They just didn't look like a team that would be ranked 6th in the nation to me. I appreciate the win. A win is a win. It's a great win, 3-0. It's nice.
Wow.
But I wasn't terribly impressed with the way they looked.
Did you post on Tiger Board about this?
No, I was impressed with the kicker. It's Blair Craig. He's got a leg.
Yeah, I think that kick at the end of the first half would have been good from 70 yards.
Yeah.
He hammered it.
His kickoffs go way beyond the end zone, too. He looks really good to me.
I think the choice was, hey, we're going to let, in Boston they call him Tommy. It's kind of like when Cardinal reporters would call out him Wainwright, Wayno. Mm-hmm. I'm a little uncomfortable with it, but I'll respect it. Tommy Castellanos, we're not going to let him beat us with his arm. We're not going to let him beat us with his legs. So if he can beat us with his arm, then God bless.
Right.
And so that's what they chose to take away, and they made the right wager. I didn't realize he was my height. It's great to see. Shows that there's a new surge in football to have the undersized quarterback. Big
Kyler?
weekend for Kyler Murray as well. So he had a tough time seeing over his offensive line. I think that's why Gary Kornfeld chose Steve Schnur over me, but he's going to join
Bad
us
choice.
at 8.
Strictly political.
Thank you.
Absolutely political.
Thank you for saying it. So then when he had to throw the ball, he would have some problems. Or when Missouri would choose to cover the receivers, he would have some problems. Now, when Missouri chose to let receivers run freely down the field, he would convert. Matter of fact, he got a chance to do that twice.
Well, if you have a guy who's that elusive, why not use him as a jitterbugging scatback?
Like Deuce Staley?
Well, yeah, there are a lot of guys that are very valuable as a running back who has his kind of running ability. But you do need somebody who can throw in a pinch. And the only time that he was really effective is when, as you said, the receivers were absolutely wide open. He had
blown plays, broken coverage.
Yeah, he had trouble finding people all day long.
So you had that element, which certainly could be considered concerning. Eli Drinkwitz, in the on-field interview following the game, said he's just going to throw them out because they were broken plays. I didn't necessarily see the first touchdown on 4th and 3 as a broken play. Maybe he was saying that it was such a bad offensive pass interference that he's not too worked up about that. Doubt you could see that when you were at Faroe Field. The other thing that was talked about as a focal point going into the game and actually got worse for Game 3 was Missouri's penalties. Doug, you got a chance to see a 2nd and 59 in person.
I did. It was exciting. And the down and distance markers were like right in front of me, so I could see it go up. Just thrilling. I saw that all over social media. Never seen a 2nd and 59 before. Okay, we got it. They're not going to convert 3rd down this time. Knock it off with that. It's unfortunate. And here's another thing. Get the ball to Burton more. Throw the ball to him.
No, wait till midway through the second quarter, and then let him get a touch.
What are they waiting on?
I actually, through the first quarter, if you recall, he left early against Buffalo. Buffalo, by the way, took UMass's measure, I think 35-3, to get you ready for the showdown in Amherst, which is only a few weeks away now. But I was thinking, maybe he was hurt, and they're going to get some crap about pulling him from the game and saying he was sick. And then all of a sudden, fortunately, on a ball that was about 3 inches away from being picked off, they found him, and away he went. I mean, his touchdown, that is why he is considered to be one of the top receivers in college football and most likely a top 10 pick when the NFL draft rolls around. Health, of course, maintained for the remainder of however many games Missouri has left, 9 regular season games. The way he was able to just stop on a dime, turn. Martinez from Boston College goes for him, and he runs into the end zone for a touchdown. Absolutely unreal athletic ability.
Yeah, to stop on the dime like that, spin and go, and accelerate through all that contact and get in kind of easily. And even on that wheel route where he had nowhere to go, and if it was not for a shoelace tackle, would have had another touchdown. He's just dynamite. Like if you're running 5 plays and Luther doesn't touch on any of those 5 plays, you're doing something wrong.
I agree.
Whether it be an end
every new
around,
set of downs, he needs to be targeted somehow.
They use him as a decoy a lot, which I get because you have to honor him every time. But there's sometimes on those end arounds, you just give him the ball and he'll make something happen. Yeah. I mean, on the play where he almost got kicked out for another unsportsmanlike conduct, luckily they call it unnecessary roughness. He made nothing into something and gained 8 yards on that play. Like you got to give him the ball more.
And after he gets it, he needs to stay calm, settle down, Luther.
I'm not going to lie. Although it was really dumb, I audibly laughed out loud when I saw the video of him throwing the mouthpiece to the sideline.
Yeah.
And then the ref behind him one-upped him by throwing the flag into orbit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was funny,
and
but
then he
dumb.
Kind of pushed the ball in the face of a guy on the sideline.
I thought that was a little weak, to be honest with you, but
you still can't do it.
No. The blindside block was the weak call there. That was
if you can't maintain your discipline, sooner or later that might cost you a game.
Yeah.
Something stupid that didn't really happen, didn't affect a play, might cost you the game.
Well, as we saw later on in the evening with Kentucky and Georgia, the best thing that can happen, I think, in college football is you win a game in a close fashion where a coach can point to, hey, you did this crap, you did that crap, you got to get it right, as opposed to you lose that game and you go, oh my God, we blew an opportunity here. Now you can say, okay, we dodged a bullet, but this is the reason why we dodged the bullet, and you catch your players' attention when you're talking about 18-year-olds to 23-year-olds most of the time. That is an opportunity. And Kirby Smart was talking about at the end of that Kentucky game, which they were fortunate to win, just like Brian Kelly was fortunate to win in Columbia, South Carolina, that it's not easy to win on the road in the SEC, and now I've got an opportunity to catch my players' attention because I was telling them that going into this week, and they just didn't capitalize on it. Now Missouri has seen that they can't just go out there and expect to beat anybody just because there was a 6, now a 7 next to their name. It doesn't mean anything. And that's... I think that's a real positive thing because if you remember when Georgia won the national championship 2 years ago, they went through Columbia, Missouri, and they probably should have lost that game. And that Missouri team wasn't even remotely close to as good as the team from last year, most likely the team from this year. So you get a little scare early on in the season, and that can oftentimes be a launch pad. Take a look at last year with Middle Tennessee State. Big time scare. Mm-hmm. Missouri takes off from that point forward. I would be surprised, and hey, Georgia's got a bye going into taking on Alabama here in a couple of weeks, that doesn't catch teams' attention. I think it's a positive thing because Missouri didn't play a great game. The other thing is, I'm not sure Boston College is great. They have a unique set of circumstances with a very small, I mean, he's 5'9". I mean, holy crap. 5'9" quarterback who can run. An incredible offensive line. Boston College, Wisconsin, I feel like, with offensive linemen.
They were huge.
I mean, just...
It looked like an NFL line.
Such little pressure. They got a damn good head coach. I think there's real belief there. I personally, from a Missouri fan standpoint, will be pulling for Boston College this Saturday night in Chestnut Hill against Michigan State. And you look at their schedule, and whether they're good or not, it's just kind of like the 2007 Kansas team. The schedule lines up for Boston College to have a really good record. Their toughest game is against Louisville. I think that's the only ranked team they have. So Boston College could wind up looking like a good win as the season progresses. And Missouri might need those. Something that I was reading from Gabe DeArmond yesterday on Power Mizzou, and he'll join us, brought to you by James Carlton at 9 o'clock, is do you feel better about Missouri or worse about Missouri a quarter of the way through the season, record-wise, as far as what you thought their record would be? Because it's tough to gauge. The first 2 games are such throwaways, and you got one really bad quarter, and then the rest of it was kind of dominating, but the score didn't convey dominance. And I would say, and I share Gabe's viewpoint, because he's like, I thought they would win around 10. Now I think they'll win around 11. These are Gabe's words. But his reason isn't because of Missouri's performance. It's because when you look at the schedule, you go, God, Oklahoma doesn't look real good. I mean, you have to watch all this crap and sit around like I do and watch college football, but Oklahoma has not looked good. They've won, but they have not looked good in doing so. Texas A&M had their situation with Notre Dame. They won at Florida, but Florida is in absolute disarray. Kind of surprised Billy Napier still is the coach of the Gators at the moment.
Let the man just walk away.
But that could change over the next few hours. Reason being, they have a couple of games that are winnable, and I don't know if they want to give them optimism. Over the next couple of weeks, they have a couple of winnable games. I think they got Mississippi State, which is, I think, the worst team in the SEC, which is saying something for Missouri's upcoming opponent who just lost to producer Joe's alma mater, Georgia State. But somehow that Vanderbilt team beat Virginia Tech. Point being, you look at A&M, does that look as good? No. Auburn, does that look as good? No. And I'm talking about where they were going into the season. That's a team that lost to Cal. They were kind of dicking around with New Mexico. The one team that I guess looks better is South Carolina. For those who had a chance to watch that, I think if their quarterback doesn't get hurt, I think they beat LSU. So that could be a real test in mid-November in Columbia, South Carolina. But, I mean, Arkansas, yeah, they could have won at Oklahoma State, but they could have lost against UAB this past weekend. So the one game that still holds tried and true as far as a real test is what you kind of would have expected is the team that went into Madison, Wisconsin and beat the hell out of Luke Fickell's Badgers, and that's Alabama on October 26th. But other than that, I think where you think the teams were on their schedule versus where they are 3 weeks into the season, minus South Carolina and minus Alabama, I think everybody looks less than what you thought they may have been going into the year. So, therefore, that increases Missouri's chances, theoretically, to have a better season. Now, that doesn't speak to Missouri, but that speaks to Missouri's schedule, which is looking less than what it appeared to be going into the year. And keep in mind, it wasn't highly regarded going into the year.
Yeah. I suppose from my point of view, after 3 weeks, I'm still pretty unsure what they have. Obviously, you couldn't tell in the first 2 weeks. I thought Cook could have been a whole lot sharper than he's been so far.
Yes.
He's going to have to be better. If they're gonna,
as far as the long ball.
The explosive plays.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he's been...
He still runs the ball well.
I mean, 21 for 30.
Yeah.
And it's really good with his feet. But yeah, on the deep, that Luther ball he had in the third quarter, maybe fourth, has to be completed.
Yeah. I think what is super encouraging are two things that you're not going to think of when you talk about Missouri, because you talk about the wide receiver corps, and it might be one of the best in the country. They could run that ball at will on Saturday. Yeah. And Brady Cook was able to just hand off. And, you know, with Carroll and Noel, it doesn't really matter. And that's not a shot at Cody Schrader, but that speaks to the offensive line. Interestingly enough, at the moment, Missouri's run blocking is much more effective than the pass blocking. But still, to be able to run the football, that's when they really got it going last year, is to be able to run the football. And that's still there. That's super encouraging, because if teams are going to have to respect that run, that's going to open up the talent for whether it be the obvious in Burden, Weiss Jr., who had the huge game against Buffalo. I'm still buying stock on Speedy Johnson, Doug, mainly because I think I like the name.
Yeah, I do too.
Feed Keys.
Feed Keys.
Yeah, feed Keys. Let's give him some looks. No, I think Noel and Carroll both had 5 yards a carry basically the entire game. I mean, that's when you look at Mizzou, like the only thing that is missing from what my thoughts were going to be if they were going to be really special is obviously the explosive plays. And by that I mean like airing it out 40 yards or more, not like a guy catching it and then running, the yaktery, as they like to call it.
Don't say yaktery.
I like that.
But then also, obviously, discipline. You got to be. It's the 3rd and 15. You get a hands to the face penalty is inexcusable. That just can't happen. Yeah. You can't let teams off the hook like that. You can't have the dumb penalties after the plays. You can't be, taking plays back. That can't happen. But if you're going to have those things happen like they did on Saturday, and you still end up with a win against a ranked opponent, you got to feel good. Like, I think if Boston College is Iowa and they're ranked 24th, we're not thinking the same way as we are right now. Like, I think because BC is BC and it's not a household name, it's like, oh man. But in reality, you got a ranked win where you played poorly for at least a quarter and still ended up with a victory, still in the top 10. Like, could have been a lot worse.
Mm-hmm. I would expect Boston College to be 5-1 when they have to go to Blacksburg. The team that lost to Vanderbilt somehow, for a Thursday night game on October 17th. They have Michigan State. Michigan State, I believe, is 3-0. They beat Maryland, I think. Maryland beat Virginia this past weekend. Michigan State, Saturday night, I would imagine that will be quite an atmosphere at Chestnut Hill. People are buying in. Red bandana game, that's right. Western Kentucky is in Chestnut Hill on September 28th, and then they're at Virginia on October 5th. I think it is 70% Boston College is 5-1 and ranked in the top 25. Again, I'm not saying I think Boston College is a top 10 team. I just think Boston College's schedule, kind of like Missouri's, lends itself to what could be a really good record and a good chance of getting to the ACC championship game. I don't know if Boston College can hang with Miami. Miami's one big win was Florida. We've talked about Florida. That's a problem. Tough to gauge a team off of Florida. I know they have the brand name, but if you watch them play football, that's quite a situation they've got going there, especially with their inability to stop the run. But on the other side of things, if you can get to that ACC championship game, who knows what the hell happens, and maybe Boston College winds up being the 4 seed in the college football playoff. They're down to plus 2,500 now to win the ACC. I've been loving that plus 4,500 on Boston College to win the ACC.
I thought after they scored in the fourth quarter with 3:45 left, Boston College should have onside kicked. I really thought they should have at the time. Missouri wasn't ready for it. They didn't have 9 guys up at the line ready to defend against it. They only had 5, 6 maybe. All Mizzou needed was 2 first downs, and it's over. And they got them, and it was over.
Especially with the way that Mizzou was running the football.
BC had a real chance right there to get the ball back and win it 28-21. Could they?
28-27.
28-27. Could they have, if they could have recovered and scored? I thought they really had a chance right there.
Yeah, I like from a coaching perspective, like I don't know if in the third game of the season you want to put no faith in your defense to.
Well, I don't think it says that. I think it says we're going to go for it. We're on the road. We have a chance to pull off a huge upset. We're going to go for it.
I think it was 2:45. I'm with you, but with how much time was left, I think you got to show a little faith in the defense.
I thought the biggest coaching mistake of the weekend was Mark Stoops. I thought it in the moment. For me to text someone when something's going on, especially on a Saturday night, it really has to strike me. And I was about to text the Colonel because I figured he was watching the Georgia-Kentucky game. Kentucky is in a position to beat Georgia. They have the ball right around midfield. It's 4th and 3. Then I think they get a false start on a punt, and they punt the thing back to Georgia. Georgia gets a couple first downs. That'll wrap her up. Kentucky gets the ball back with 9 seconds. They're not going to do anything against the Georgia defense. Really surprised by that. Yeah. Really surprised by that.
Georgia, go for it.
Really surprised by that. Really. That's one. Whether that would have been Bill O'Brien against the team I pull for, or if it would have been Eli Drinkwitz for the team I pull for, I would have been all over that. That was, and I gather that a number of people observing that were stunned by that decision because you got 3 minutes left. Yeah, you have 3 timeouts, but you have an opportunity to beat the number 1 team in the country coming off a 31-6 loss at home against South Carolina, open up the SEC schedule, and you punt it away, giving Georgia essentially 2 first downs, you win. Same kind of thing you're talking about with Missouri. I would say the difference in those 2 games is Boston College could not stop Missouri's run. In Kentucky's case, strange as it may sound, they were keeping Georgia in check. Georgia didn't score a touchdown until the 4th quarter. That's a little scary, but probably in a weird way a good thing for Georgia because now they have a bye, although Carson Beck looked like he got hurt at the end of the game with his shoulder and said the bye comes at a perfect time, and then they have Alabama here on the last weekend in September. As Doug points out, it's my birthday weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think in almost every situation, if you go down swinging, if you be aggressive, trying to pull off a big upset late in the game, you can defend that.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
And I don't think you'll second guess it very much. But I think you will second guess it if you thought, oh, why didn't we onside kick and give us a chance to win that game? Or why didn't we go for it on 4th down and give us a chance to win instead of just assume we're going to stop them 3 and out and they're going to punt it back to us and we still got 70 yards to go for a touchdown.
Mark Stoops is spineless. That's in the Crystal City Clam Hammer.
He's a coward is what he is.
And the media in this town is soft. It's an embarrassment. He's a fraud.
Doug,
he's a fraud.
Onside kicking is only when you're up 30-0 in the first quarter. That's when you onside.
Tribute to Josh Heupel, Doug. Tight game with Kent State.
Yeah, 71 Dick. And when you're
you like that 71 Dick, or would you rather say nil?
What does that mean?
71-0.
Don't ever say that again.
I thought that was something people said.
No.
Okay. Well, all I know is you're up 30-0, you onside kick, and your rationale is
that what
we're trying to practice it. Like practice doesn't exist. Like you only get to play football in the games. Like you can't practice.
And did they get it back?
They nailed it.
Oh, jeez.
So they could bang the golden flashes to the tune of 71-0.
Well, I was pretty nervous as BC was approaching that kickoff because Mizzou was not ready for an onside kick. They did not have their
hands
hands team up. Yeah. They were not ready, and they were vulnerable. was very happy to see him kick it.
Were you yelling from the sidelines, like, fellas, watch out for the onside kick?
I wish I was close enough to. I would have, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I should have flashed him some sort of sign.
Who'd you go to the game with? Nick Vaughn?
My son. No, John Vaughn.
Oh, John Vaughn. God bless.
How does he feel about Bo Nix?
He's very upset by Bo Nix. Very, very disappointed. The Denver Bronco quarterback who hadn't shown much. For those who might not.
There were a number of people going into the season right after he was picked that were a little confused by the Bo Nix play, much less how things have played out so far for the Broncos.
Not thrilled. Boy, they had a huge crowd there in Columbia.
That's a great thing to see.
If nothing else,
that's a great thing to see.
Now.
You know, I still will say, you know, this is one of the things Kirby Smart was saying on the field after the game in Lexington. Saturday night, SEC, you got the bullseye. That's a problem. It is a great thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that Missouri will win, but I will absolutely take the day 11 o'clock kick in College Station over a 7 o'clock kick in College Station, just like I hated to see Missouri and LSU be an 11 o'clock kick. But tribute to what Missouri is building and what the fans are now doing as far as response goes, because the 11 o'clock kick now has a full crowd. I mean, 11 o'clock kick, that was packed. That's a hell of an atmosphere.
It's a pretty comfortable time as a fan from St. Louis, because I could drive up there, leave at 8 in the morning, get parked, and still be there an hour before kickoff, and then be home by 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, kind of nice.
Yeah.
3:15 kickoff with the Vanderbilt game. I think it might have been an earlier kick, but then Vanderbilt fell victim to producer Joe's alma mater, Georgia State. I was kind of thinking Vanderbilt might have something going. I mean, to beat Virginia Tech. And then my wife and I were out to dinner on Saturday night, and I texted producer Joe, said, "Hey, is your alma mater good now?" And he goes, "Now, the program hasn't been around very, very long." And I go, "Okay, fine, whatever." And he goes, "Yeah, they've built a respectable program, but still, Vanderbilt losing to Georgia State."
Their defense looked terrible. 4 touchdowns for Georgia State.
A lot of players down there in that area of the country. Georgia cranks out an awful lot of high school football
Marcus Carroll,
talent.
Georgia State last year.
Yeah. So, if you're ever going to build a program and try to get it to be a quality team in a hurry, that'd be a good place to do it.
But they beat Virginia Tech, who a lot of people have bought a lot of stock in Virginia Tech. Had they get to see a lot of returning starters, and it's a weird deal.
It's our Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour here on TMA. You are welcome to get involved on the program by texting in 314-881-TMA5, Schaefer Door Company, sponsor of the text inbox, and you are welcome to call in Collier and Thompson phone line 636-9004-TMA, and email in for our Design Air heating and cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design Air is online at designairservice.com. The forecast, glorious. Caught off guard by the storms yesterday afternoon. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that in the forecast, and all of a sudden, and it came up from the southeast. Now, the hell's that about?
I was at the Green Tree Festival there at Kirkwood Park, and they said, storms are coming, lightning within 5 miles, get to your cars.
Did you see my wife there?
I didn't.
You banging my wife?
No, I wasn't. I didn't even see her.
Why didn't you go?
Jackson just entertained himself.
Doesn't seem like it would be your type of arts and crafts fair.
Well, I heard Tim say, "Did you see my wife?" and not me and my wife.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be the ultimate cock if I was standing there.
No, I didn't see her.
Well, anyway, I'm in the role of a Design Air read. DesignAirService.com. Point being, glorious forecast, and all of a sudden, storms, I say, yesterday afternoon. Design Air heating and cooling. I think we have a wonderful forecast throughout the course of the week. Highs in the mid to upper 80s, and sunny skies for much of the week for those of you heading to Columbia for the Vanderbilt game. Doug won't see the Tigers for a while after that one, not until War Eagle comes to town on October 19th. Got a bye week, and then head to College Station. Then obviously go to Amherst, Massachusetts, and then back in Columbia before heading to Tuscaloosa. Will they be 7-0? Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com, official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. And you're always welcome to send in questions, comments, erotic stories for QFTA, TMCK, ERNAN at InsideSTL.com. Design Air online at designairservice.com. Doug Collier and Thompson's the phone line sponsor, and we want phone calls. We want them big time, just like Gabe takes phone calls on his post-game show, except they're voicemails. Collier and Thompson phone line 636-9004-TMA.
You know what else you might want is a new man cave. Football's here. You're going to spend a lot of time in front of the tube. Get your man cave updated by Collier & Thompson. They do that. They do that all the time. They finish basements. Of course, their specialty are kitchens and bathrooms, that kind of thing. But they also do basements, wine rooms, man caves, bars, accent rooms, fireplace walls, offices, you name it. They probably do it. And they don't just do it. They do it better than anyone in town. This is a business that's been around since the 1950s. You're not going to have to worry, are they going to show up? Are they going to be there? Are they going to have the employees? Yes, they've got their own people right there in-house. Service and quality is their number one priority. If something does happen, maybe a door comes off a hinge, Matthew, the service manager and appliance installer, will get back out there and help. They never cut corners at Collier & Thompson. They want the job done perfectly, and that's what they've been doing for many, many years. Almost everything with Collier & Thompson is right there in-house. You don't need to go to 5, 8 different places to remodel one room. With Collier & Thompson, the countertops, appliances, lighting, flooring, hardware, plumbing, all right there in-house. And here's another big thing that they like to say. Don't wait until you're going to sell your house to update it, thinking that you're going to be able to sell it. Well, you will, but do it now while you're there and enjoy it. It's not like, a year from now it's all going to look dated again. It won't. Collier & Thompson does things that last, it could be the lifetime of the house. You may only have to do this one time if you're living in your house forever. So go ahead, get it done now so you can enjoy it, not just the next buyers of your home. They've got a great showroom, more than 10,000 square feet there on Manchester. One other thing they're doing a lot of is removing walls to open up the first floor and remodel homes that were purchased, years ago. They can update your home, make it that, the kind of comfortable layout, the open floor plan that people like so much. Collier & Thompson doing a lot of that. Give them a check. You will love the work that they do. Collier & Thompson on Manchester and Baldwin next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Collier & Thompson, come home to quality online at collierandthompson.com.
Do you want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? Well, it's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at theedfgroup.com. Get involved on the program. Collier & Thompson phone line 636-9004-TMA. Schaefer Door Company, sponsor of the text inbox 314-881-TMA5, and email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. The Colonel will be with us at 9 o'clock, and he will take your two-part questions, brought to you by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. Design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day standings. Kevin Miller, Doug, has a lead over Buck Swope, 4-3. Yeah. Frisco Peppers has a win, and the JV golf coach has a win. Really fun competition so far here in the month of September.
Good times. When we talk to Gabe, maybe he can point me into a better area to park. I had some parking issues, Tim.
Well, did you just park on the side of Providence?
God,
I don't know. I probably should have.
No, that's so scary to me. Walking up Providence, those cars are going 40 miles per hour.
Well, get yourself a helmet. I parked across the street in that hospital complex there. It was $30. I didn't care because it was close. And
yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, but I couldn't get out. I couldn't get out of the place.
What do you mean?
It took almost an hour to get out when the game was over. It took almost as long for me to get out of the parking lot as it did to drive from there to Winsfield to drop off John Vaughn. About the same time. Sure, I had sandwiches. He made sandwiches, yeah.
John Vaughn made a picnic for you?
Yes, he sees himself as quite the chef.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
What did he whip up?
Just kind of it was like a foot-long sub sandwich that had ham and pepperoni and cheese and some red sauce on it. It was very good. I had the sandwiches, I did, and had drinks. But I didn't want to sit in the parking. I did not have a scotch.
Interesting.
I had some sort of bottled water. But I didn't want to sit in the parking lot for an hour. Come on, move it! Let's go. I'm getting claustrophobic in here. Let's go.
What was going on?
One exit and one exit only. And there must have been, 500, 600 cars parked in this one spot. And you couldn't make a left turn out of here because they wanted you to go right to hit the light. We couldn't get out.
Oh, did you go by the SAE house? Phi Alpha?
No, I didn't. I think an hour is a little long to get. It was like,
Where's the place to park
Hollywood
if you go to Columbia?
Park. That's my question.
I feel like parking far away and then just walking is the move.
Yeah, that's the move.
It's just like walk. If that means you have to walk through downtown, it's a nice walk.
Well, I don't want to walk that far.
That's what I
don't mind walking to the campus and everything. That's always kind of fun.
Yeah,
thousands of people. But
downtown's like what, 5-6 streets.
That feels like it's farther than that.
You get
Doug,
down
that's
there.
why you go to Willie's post game. Duh. It's from the Warrison Woods
I
Wacko.
couldn't get there.
They'll charge you too. Cover fee.
I don't know where to park.
Did they have Truman directing traffic over there?
No one directing traffic.
They built
That I
that
saw.
roundabout there on Tiger. That's all. It seems like it's messed everything up.
Yeah.
Morning, guys. Thank you for all you do for us listeners day in and day out. Stay safe and take care of yourselves and your families. Make it a great week. That's from Big Tuft.
Gosh, the worm has turned. Our listeners are suddenly very kind to us.
Is it wrong to assume that a lot of these aren't genuine?
I would call it a tight read.
Okay. I just, it's tough to tell
Based
sometimes
more
via
in-
text.
Based on sarcasm, you think?
Well,
They don't want us to have a good day, a pleasant time?
I think they want us to struggle.
Yeah.
I think the more we squirm, the better it
Mhm.
is. So
That's probably true.
Positivity be damned.
It's always a good weekend when Dallas loses. Doug, that's the Cowboys. I mean, are the New Orleans Saints the second coming of
Jesus,
the
right.
85 Bears?
They gobsmacked the Cowboys.
Speaking of losers, what's up with all the St. Louis Chiefs fans? I can't wait for the Chiefs to be terrible again, and I can watch that bandwagon empty out faster than my colon after Doug takes me. Okay.
Oh, they didn't need that. Maybe the worm hadn't turned after all.
It's from Doug's prison wallet.
I can just hear all the people that get crazy over the Chiefs thinking it's rigged. That fourth down call that kept them alive.
It was the right call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you not think it was the right call?
Oh, I thought it was, but I know there's a whole bunch of people who think the Chiefs get all the breaks now and they're allowed to win. That it's somehow rigged.
More Brian Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Kelly thinks the Chiefs?
No, just pick six, but it's called back because your quarterback gets blocked, and that to me was like the more glaring officiating issue this weekend. But
Harrison Butker's quite a kicker too. And how about the guy from Belleville West kicking 7 field goals yesterday? You see that? Austin Sievert from Belleville West, now with the Washington Commanders.
Oh, nice.
7 field goals.
The Manders.
I don't call them the Manders.
Feel free to, though.
Yeah.
How many groomsmen did Kai go down on? I was pimping him out at $20 a protein shake. That's the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Oyster Groves. Jackson, you went to a wedding and Sweet Kai was going down on the groomsmen?
No, there was no foreplay. I didn't see any mouthifying.
Oh.
Well, but he was there and getting after it.
And how'd the wedding go?
Outstanding time.
Was it?
10 out of 10, no notes.
And you were a groomsman?
No, I was not.
But your girlfriend was not invited. Why?
I didn't get a +1, yeah.
Sweet Kai did. Why?
They don't approve of her?
Sweet Kai's a groomsman. He's now with his fiance.
But he was
7
servicing
years.
the groomsmen.
Well, the liquor gets flowing, and you never know what will happen. No, his mouth was not full.
Oh,
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. These accusations are raining down.
Full.
Yeah, they wasn't. There's accusations raining it down against my boy, and I got to stand up for it.
Where was the wedding?
Forest Park Visitor Center. You ever been there?
Forest Park Visitor Center, man.
Right by, right off the fairway of Dogwood 6.
Doug, do you have a problem with Dogwood? Is that the flat gettable?
No, it's Hawthorne.
Hawthorne's the one that's gettable.
Hawthorne's
You mean
very
like
gettable.
right next to the clubhouse?
Right by the tennis center. You know where the tennis center is in
Sure.
Forest
Oh,
Park?
gosh.
Dwight D. Davis.
Right across the street from there.
It used to be the old golf clubhouse.
Oh, I think
Years
that's
ago.
right.
Years
Oh,
ago.
I have been to a wedding there. Now I know what you're talking
It's a
about.
nice
All right.
venue.
Yeah, it's a nice venue.
Yeah, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really, really fun. We flat got after it. Enjoyed it. It was a
What were you
beautiful
drinking?
day. What wasn't it? I was drinking everything.
Uh-oh.
What does a fellow like you do to flat get after it?
Drink and dance.
Oh, you didn't dance alone, did you?
No, not alone. Well, you never walk alone. Shout out to Liverpool.
Okay.
But no, I got after it. Yeah, cut up a rug.
Hung over the next day?
Did pretty good on hydration the night of. Therefore, I woke up hungover, no doubt. But I just more lost my voice.
Oh, did you?
Or
really?
back, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it was great. I love weddings.
Do you really?
Hot take, but really,
That was a hot take.
they're
Doug,
real-
grab your
they're really fun. They're like super
Yeah.
fun, and especially when it's like one of your closest friends is getting married. It's
And the
really,
food
really
is usually
fun.
good?
Good food, yeah.
Does Jackson have the same deal with his lady that Tim does, where it's not cheating if it's gay, so he can still get with the boys? That's from Cuckleberry Finn. And that was in my wedding vows.
Right. Well, the conversation never happened. I just figured it was assumed. Like It was
She
implied.
understands that if you sleep with a man, it's not cheating.
Well, when you're an HD2 star,
Right.
you're going to have a lot of people clamoring after you.
Tim, at your wedding, I would have liked to have seen the tight shot of your dad's face on camera after the priest announced that you had agreed that it wasn't cheating if it was gay.
That's correct.
Let's cut to a shot of Tim's dad for reaction.
With a Chiron set.
Timmy, what are you doing with this crap? Second wedding, and now it's not cheating if it's gay. Missy, what are we doing here? That's exactly what it would have been.
The graphic says parking lot mogul Tim McKernan.
Yeah, live feed. Can we talk about Charlie Hull slapping Nelly Korda around the course yesterday? That's from King Fupa. Doug, was at 6-4, Charlie Hull. She's becoming the target of those with the smoking kink. Is that correct? Am I correct on all of these things?
Was this the Solheim Cup?
That's right.
Solheim Cup?
I didn't
I
watch it.
actually was watching it.
You were?
I really was.
When the guys took their shirts off?
It was the Green Tree Festival or the Solheim Cup, and I chose the Solheim Cup.
Well, I chose the Green Tree Festival over that.
The guys took their shirts off at the Solheim Cup.
I saw a
Caddies.
picture of that, yeah. They lost a bet or something? Or you said
think
if someone get a hole in one, was that it?
The woman holed out, and two caddies just
Immediately took their shirts off.
Yeah, tarps off.
Oh. All right. Iggy, did you watch the Solheim Cup?
I did not see a second of it.
Okay. Well, I didn't either.
Well, you missed a Jim Dandy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't even close.
Charlie Hull won?
Charlie Hull won her match, but the United States won.
Oh, okay. Hooray for our side.
Clip that off.
I didn't know half the players.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known 98% of them, probably. But, they're great players in their own right, that's for sure. I'm sorry that it caused the conversation to come to a screeching halt. I'm sure it was a wonderful weekend of golf there.
Congratulations to Patton Kazire on his win out in Napa.
Patton Kazire, yeah, out of Napa. Nice win for him. He's about due for a little victory, and he got it.
Is Taylor Swift going to games still super cool when Kelsey only gets one effing catch for 5 yards? Can't be as cool as a Shirley Temple sauced up Rick dancing in a corner alone to Mr. Brightside saying FKU, even though the olds in attendance are confused and appalled. That's from Carlos Spice, who I think he's going to the Hall of Fame someday.
They did play Mr. Brightside.
And did you yell FKU?
This person who got married, one of my closest friends, would root for Mizzou with us all the time when we were kids, and then decided to go to Kansas like the absolute traitor he is. And so when that happened, there was a couple Mizzou contingency there, and we got out. I mean, at that point, that was towards the end of the wedding, and
That's the
three
song
sheets to the wind.
They play at Faroe Field, too.
Yes,
right?
but now they blast Beat KU to try to drown out the FKU.
Right. But everyone knows the lyric is FKU.
Well, I had to admit,
not Barry Odom.
I had to admit, as an old, it was the first time I'd heard the song.
You never heard the song, Mr. Brightside?
I never heard the song.
It's about 21 years old, I
We've
would say.
definitely played on this show a couple times.
And there are
It's about a
theories that it's
cuckold.
about a cuckold.
It is about a cuckold. Yeah.
It is confirmed? We've confirmed that when we game?
Unless the lyrics are like an allegory to something else.
Allegory. You have a problem with that, Doug?
Yeah.
Allegheny River meets up with what other two rivers?
Ohio and the Ohio, right?
No, to form the Ohio. The Allegheny and the Monongahela would join together in Pittsburgh to form the Ohio.
And that would be a confluence?
Yes, it sure would be.
All right. Well, I'm glad we got that taken care of.
But I hadn't heard the song, and I was looking around like a confused old that I am, and everyone else is singing along.
Yeah.
I said, I don't believe I've even heard
It's becoming
this.
our country roads.
How'd you explain the F word to Greg Vaughn?
I was with John Vaughn.
I'm sure you called Greg.
He had to explain it to me. Yeah, I may have called. I called him Greg many times. I may indeed had to have him explain it to me.
Greg, I mean John, what does this mean?
I have never heard Darren play drops of himself. Jackson does it all the time. Eye-opening. That's from Todd Reesing.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Is that narcissistic?
Whatever.
Todd
definitely
Reesing lost to Barry Odom.
Yeah, how does that feel?
On Friday night.
Lance Leopold.
And Rock Chalk Jayhawk has one win this year. It's against Lindenwood. But they are 1-2 on the season. Meanwhile, ILL is in the top 25, and we got a Jim Dandy on Friday night against the undefeated. Are they back?
No.
Nebraska Cornhuskers. Can they fend off Brett Bielma's number 23? Is it 23? Sometimes the rankings are different. 24 in the AP poll.
Yeah, 24. That's a really cool game. Friday night
Nebraska
game.
22.
I heard
It's
somewhere
in Lincoln.
This is the first time both Mizzou and Illinois started 3-0 since like 1940.
Is that right?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Both of them together.
It's the first time Illinois has been 3-0 to start a season in a really long time.
Yeah.
I will probably be watching that game.
Yeah, Friday night in Lincoln. It's going to be an electric
What are you
atmosphere.
doing watching that game?
I mean, it'll
I'm
be
married
on.
with 2 kids. What the hell are you doing?
It'll
You need to be
on.
out snorting rails off tramp stamps.
It'll be on somewhere where I'll be, and I'll watch it.
Are you going to be Wheelhouse Battle Service?
I don't know. Tim, you gotta do the work. Like you can't just come in here and half cocked. You gotta do
Can't come in
the
here
work.
half cocked, Doug. That's a soft cow reference.
You know,
Jackson's silence is deafening. Dude's up his own ass. That's from Todd Reese.
Oh, come on, Reese.
Yeah, good. It was good when UNLV literally takes 30 seconds off the clock to end a half, and you still let them score. It's really, really good.
Colonel has a fantasy.
What's that?
Well, number one's retirement, but the second one is Missouri as the 5 seed hosting Barry Odom, and UNLV is the 12 seed in the college football playoff.
Oh, that'd be sweet. I'd be into that.
Well, Missouri has a friendly face on the board that does the voting.
Gary Pinkel.
Yeah, Gary Pinkel's on the committee there.
On the
that
CFP
votes.
committee?
Yeah, he's one of 13, so that can only help.
One
you would think. He
Why
was
is
right there next to Jeremy Macklin banging on the
Big Mo.
Big Mo.
Yeah.
Why isn't Drinkwitz's wife telling the fans to stop saying FKU like Nick Saban's wife, Miss Terry, did with Dixieland Delight? That's from the bastard James Hahn.
Miss Terry, I saw one coach.
Did they say what? Beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too? Right.
Yeah.
So it used to be F Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too, but now it's beat. Oh, okay, got it.
Right.
Doug, you'll hear that on October 26th.
Okay.
Probably a night game in Tuscaloosa. That'll put the Tigers to the test. Better be able to hit the deep ball in that one. Jalen Milroe certainly did. I think Alabama scored 4 touchdowns in 4 minutes.
They looked sick. They smoked Wisconsin.
What's Wisconsin doing scheduling Alabama, the non-conference opponent?
Well, they brought him to Camp Randall. Like, if you're going to do it, that's the time to do it.
I think you don't do it.
Well, I'll tell you, did the LSU South Carolina game take 5 hours?
It kicked off 45 minutes before Missouri's game, and it ended
like an hour after?
I was able to watch the beginning of it, and I was able to watch the last, I don't know. I felt like I watched the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
You got a body language tell from South Carolina's coaches before that kick that they're like, this guy who I don't think had ever kicked a ball longer than 40 some odd yards, and I think he had to kick a 51-yarder. You could just tell they're like, he ain't going to make it. Yeah. And he barely missed it, and it would have been good if it would have been about 5 yards to the, if you're facing the uprights to the left. But Jackson, you're familiar with South Carolina because that's the team you're playing with. Mm-hmm. On EA Sports College Football 25, and they do have a good young quarterback, but he got hurt.
Lenora Sellers.
He got hurt.
Yeah, he's good. They got their Raheem Sanders, Rocket Sanders.
Sanders is
he's
back.
nasty. Like they call it Willie B Stadium. That's a tough test for Missouri. Like
Sandstorm.
You cannot overlook they made some mistakes against LSU. They can't deny that, but I mean they didn't get any help from the Stripes and they LSU.
You like that? Didn't get any help from the Stripes?
No,
I had a feeling you wouldn't like that.
I don't know what to make of LSU. I don't know if they're good or not. They take on who they got this week. They got somebody.
Who
UCLA.
LSU?
LSU has UCLA. Eventually, they're going to drop another game or two. Like they've just been falling ass backwards into. Like they kind of almost fell ass backwards into the USC game.
And how are you doing in your little Playtime Toys for Tykes video game series?
I had to miss a game. I got like an
You got a forfeit?
Yeah.
Really?
My schedule got away from me, and I just couldn't get the game in time.
What the hell do you have going on?
It's different stuff. I don't know. I just couldn't take an hour and play a game.
I texted Jackson. I was driving home. Doug played out at Fox Run. Just a glorious facility, by the way.
Yeah.
They're redoing it. I can't say enough good things about the people involved with it in the place and what they're doing. Holy crap. I was driving home, and I had Chance, and I needed to BS with Jackson about something. I texted him. And it was like 5 o'clock on Friday?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a, 30-minute drive. And for me, that might as well be driving to California. And Jackson texted me back like at 7:45, said, sorry, I was taking a nap.
A nap?
What kind of nap? And then how'd you go back to bed later on?
So that Friday night, like I had gotten pretty porous sleep the night before, and
Porous. I like that term. Porous.
You were leaking?
Yeah, I was leaking everywhere. Secretions left and right.
Oh, Bill.
But just in general, like that week, I hadn't gotten like 8 hours sleep once, and that night was like the pre-wedding party thing later that night, so I wanted to be charged up for that. So I planned on just taking like a 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock nap. It's not uncommon for me to do that on Friday, and things just got away from me. I was truly really tired, and so I slept for like almost 3 hours.
And then what time did you go to bed on Friday night?
Like 1:30.
Okay. But that seems like a time you could have played your, what do you call it, Doug? Little tykes?
But I got to play against someone else, and if they can't, if they can't also play, then it's...
I could see how someone 25 years old needs a little nappy poo most days.
You know what? I'm a human being. Like, I need sleep. And sometimes when I have some time, I like to take a little nap. I admit that it was too long of a nap. I did not plan to sleep that long.
You take a little sippy cup with you?
Yeah,
sippy cups.
I have my little sippy cup right here.
There it is. What does it say
every
on
time
there?
I come in,
Does that say Voltron?
It's a 4-hands Voltron one. I got a proper, and then there's Frog Dad right down there.
There's Frog Dad.
That's Frog Dad. He looks like he's leading some sort of Central American revolution in this picture. It looks like some sort of propaganda picture, but it's just a sticker of the Frog Dad.
Sweet Kai critical of Jackson in this nap. All the time in the world to catch up on sleep, and you showed up late to the welcome party. Good job, Jackie boy.
I didn't want to be
Sweet Kai. Mouth active this weekend.
I didn't want to be the first one there. I don't know. It started at 8. I got there at 8:30.
Was there any lesbianism?
I didn't see any lesbianism.
Did you sense it?
Did not get the general sapphic sense. I didn't get the sapphic sense at all during this entire wedding.
Were you trying to be fashionably late, showing up at 8:30?
Interesting.
No, had I not taken that nap, I would have shown up around 8:10. But, things get away from you sometimes. Yeah.
God, Jackson's so beta. That's from Eric in the Central.
Every time
you play
soy boy.
Yeah, every time Doug walks in, he goes, "Oh, look, here's the soy boy." Nice.
How can sleep be porous when suffocated face down on a Frank Haith Mizzou body pillow? That's from Carlos Spicy Winter.
Fair question. I think the reason I did take such a long nap was because I was face down, which is, of course, my preferred sleeping method.
You can't breathe. Doesn't it smash your nose?
No, I told you, like, I instinctually or in survival sense, like, create a little bridge for me to breathe out of.
An air pocket.
Between my pillow and the mattress. So I figured it out.
Just straight down as though you're dead.
Like an ostrich.
Doug, what does this mean? The Misters were up at Camp Randall Saturday, and it was a pony. That's from Mr. 10,000.
The Misters?
Probably his family, if I had to guess. If he's Mr. 10,000 and he's talking about the Misters.
Nice.
No, I don't get that one.
But, I mean, if I were to take my boys to a game, it would probably not be a pony. I mean, I'd still do key bumps.
You would?
But I don't think it would necessarily be a pony. Like, we wouldn't end up at Club Vogue like I usually do, or Regina's Cabaret.
Would that be weird if you showed up with your two sons,
7-year-old and
8-year-old sons,
My exciting
at the strip club? Like one in your arm, one holding your hand.
My exciting moment was getting in line for a Frankfurter.
Did you get one of the long ones?
But it was too long. The line was too long. I gave up.
Sleep when you're dead, Berkey. Napping's for the olds. That's from Flip Wilson.
Sweet Jesus! I took a little nap on Friday.
And people were disappointed in you
I
for
wanted
doing
to be
as much.
I didn't want to be tired at this little party, so I planned on just taking like a 30-45 minute nap and then being Golden Grams, and I wasn't. So I slept longer than I wanted to. It wasn't designed like that.
These naps are dangerous. Sometimes you wake up feeling worse, and when you...
That's why you shower.
I agree. That's my thing.
When you shower immediately after the nap, you will feel that then it registers the nap.
I don't know. Something goes wrong. Mr. 10,000 and Mr. Licks, you dolts. That's from Mr. 10,000. So he's speaking that he was at Camp Randall with Mr. Licks. The Alabama players so comfortable with their lead that they actually jumped around during jump around.
Yeah, it's tough to play jump around when you're getting smoked like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's
if
tough.
I was a fan, like I don't know if I would be looking to jump around when you're getting killed by Alabama. No.
I ran into Grant Wistrom at the top of the rock, and he couldn't have been nicer. Also met 2 listeners at Felix's last night. Sup, Matt? Sup, Drew? They both recognized my voice and came over to say hi. Both have smoking hot girlfriends, too. That's from Stephen Wildwood. He's a chairman in the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Year in 2023.
He just says a word or two, and everyone at the bar knows who he is?
Apparently so. I just read what's in the prompter.
Okay, good for him. Yeah. He is the chairman, after all. I'm sure they know his reputation. He's living large. I know that much.
At Felix's. Delicious pizza.
And he met Grant Wistrom.
Grant Wistrom, Top of the Rock.
Top of the Rock. That's a cool place. You ever been there?
I have not.
They have a great artificial turf driving range.
Ooh, it's up my alley. Any nap longer than 30 minutes will make you feel worse. That's from Dingle My Berries.
Well, you shower right
that's
after.
for me.
I'm telling you, it's a real game changer.
And here's a picture, Mr. 10,000. Is that Mr. 10,000 and Mr. Licks? And they're wearing matching shirts?
You don't ever wear a matching shirt as a friend unless you're on a bowling team, right?
I guess that's what that is. I don't know. I don't know who's looking at the text. Is anybody looking at the text inbox? Jackson, Chairman?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Is that Licks and Mr. 10,000 and they're wearing matching shirts? Can you confirm?
They're kind of smiling and like.
What about
Dude, we get it. You work out,
Yeah,
guy.
we get it, guy.
Licks is slurping on a spoon of some sort.
What about the guys who are teammates in a golf scramble wearing the same outfit?
Uniform.
Do you like that?
Uniform gang.
You know, Jackson, my member guest partner this year, and then you have the pari-mutuel dog for the teams that make the shootout. And I really liked, as you know, I play game theory optimal. You always say, man, you're so GTO.
I've never said that in my life.
And I'm like, I kind of like this team. And so I put some money on them. And then Jackson goes, they're doing the matching outfit thing. And I go, crap. They're dead on arrival. They got no chance.
No. They probably laid out the outfits the night before on the foot of their bed.
Yeah. Like a quasi-uniform reveal video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't need any of that.
Hey, Jackson, what song did you and Kai pick for your groomsman/best bud dance? That's from Big Tuft.
I do find that the first wedding dance song there's like a rotation of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your Mount Rushmore of wedding songs.
Well, I think the best one for first dance is Your Song by Elton John. Like, I think that's the GOAT in my opinion. Or maybe some Al Green. They went with Ed Sheeran, which is also super popular. But I did not dance
What
with
Ed
Kai.
Sheeran song, Doug? And you can do your Mount Rushmore of Ed Sheeran.
It's that one that works so well at weddings. That's the one you're talking about,
actually
right?
It's the
works so well. Nice going, Eddie.
Thinking Out Loud.
Thinking Out Loud. That's it.
It was either Thinking Out Loud or Perfect.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the two. You've heard both.
I think it was Thinking Out Loud. Is what it was. That was their first dance, and that's a classic. But I think Your Song by Elton John is the GOAT.
Do you?
Yeah. Okay. Or maybe some Al Green. I love Al Green.
Have you thought about what your own songs?
Yeah, I mean,
Al
if
Green.
you guys started talking about it, you're Al Green.
This is my parents' favorite musician is Al Green, so
It'll be a tribute.
I would like to do Al Green.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bum bum bum. You know the notes.
Buzz is defending you against Todd Reesing. I love me some Jackson. He is a combination of cool, confident, and quirky. Corky. He is as solid as they come. I've never heard that as an adjective.
No,
am I missing that?
Quirky, but in order to
But
keep
he wrote
the
COR. Oh, I see.
keep the
It's
alliteration. Because quirky just means like I got St. Louis Cardinals quark type deal.
There's people who I like who match like that, and it's hard to like them after that. Also, the Peter brothers were in Wistrom Foursome Teehee. Some Chairman Stephen Wild
What does that mean?
The Peter brothers, like Jason Peter.
Played for Nebraska.
Yeah, and so did Wistrom, so that would make sense.
That would make sense.
Okay.
There's some big boys out there.
Yeah, I'm sure there were.
Hey, Iggy, you seem quiet today. Hope you have a good show. I'm pulling for you. That's from Tony Big Toes.
Thanks, buddy.
That's nice.
I don't know what it means, but pull away.
Do you feel like you're a little quiet, soft-spoken today?
No.
Okay.
Just jump in when the conversation dictates, and
Yeah.
you guys are breaking down Mizzou perfectly.
I like where we are with our breakdown. Let's see. Boy, Todd Reesing is on you today, Jackson. I'm on YouTube for once. Jackson got that brim on his hat the loser kid who can't play baseball has in the Sandlot way too long.
Oh, the bill's too long, he feels, on your hat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you're not going to change at all, are you?
Yeah. No, I dress based off what Todd Reesing decides is cool or not.
I'm gaslighting you.
Todd Reesing.
During our first song at the 05 Yanni Father-Son alumni dance, it was, Doug, do you say Kelis milkshake?
I've never heard of
It was
the word.
Nas's ex-wife. I think she got him. I think she got him pretty good, too. Khalees.
Yeah, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. You know that song.
I've never heard this song.
What, did you were you asleep from the years 2001 to 2015?
Well, I'm kind of glad I was, if that's the kind of song I'm singing.
You don't know Mr. Brightside. You don't know Milkshake.
I've never heard of Tony Big Toes. Can Jackie put a list of text names on the fan page? That's from Stephen Wildwood.
What, like a
Yeah, I could
directory?
see
Like a glossary? Hell
John
no.
Kioski and Tommy Mattern pulling you aside and saying, hey, we need you to put the...
Assign the real names and post on in like a spreadsheet?
Yes,
God,
please.
that would take you... Oh, my
We'd like the government names.
Tell Todd Reesing to get rid of his man bun and to take a shower. That's from caller Buzz.
Oh. Starting to get personal.
Yeah, it's unfortunate this is happening. Let's see. The father-son dance gets even more emotional when you hear the sweet nothings of My Wish by Rascal Flatts. It was a South County staple at, Doug, do you pronounce it Boer Park? That's from glove blogger Tom Traven.
There's a Barra Park right on the hill.
Yeah, but South County, I don't know if I'm not familiar with Boer Park. Jackson, I'm certain you're not. As a Ladue guy, you wouldn't.
Been to Barrow Park many times.
You never went to South County at all as Ladue guy, did you?
But Uncle Leo's.
My dentist was in South County, so we would make the trek.
Was it tough for you?
It was
To
tough.
get like south of Gravois?
It was right by the Toys R Us, so you could always go double.
Oh, it's by Helen Fitzgerald.
by
Wingy
Watson
Wingy.
Road, yeah.
Crinkle Cuts.
And Fuddruckers was
You
right
just
there, too.
barely
Was,
dipped
man, rest in peace. Now it's a Shake Shack. It's going to be.
Oh, that seems like a W.
You just barely dipped your beak in South County if you were at Watson Road.
I probably played a bunch of basketball games in that area.
Yeah.
Is Valley Park South County?
Kind of. Southwest County.
I played a bunch of basketball games there. If whenever I like the trek I would make, unless it was to the east side because that's where my family is, would be like for basketball. I would have had games. St. Charles, South County.
And it was difficult for you to travel to these lesser places?
Anything for hoop rock. Anything for the love of the game, bro.
You didn't stop and get out of the car or anything, did you?
Not alone.
Hustle into the school and hustle back out.
Yeah. Sniff around. Why does it smell weird down here? I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I drive on Tesson Ferry for the same reason people go to the zoo. So many interesting pores there. That's from the Springfield Mud Tosser. So he drives back and forth on Tesson Ferry just to look at the pores?
Huh. Not that poor in Tesson Ferry.
Buzz, let's compare wives like real men. That's from Todd Reesing. All right. So we have Mr. Licks and Worse Than Woods Wacko with a balanced sheet showdown. Todd Reesing has a wife comparison going on now with caller Buzz.
That could be interesting. Everybody send in a picture of your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see no
I mean,
issues
to
with that.
me, Shrimply Pebbles, if that's indeed his wife, he's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
When we have all the wives
True.
that for whatever reason get sent in. I like Ray King's wife a lot.
Yeah, guy looks like Gareth. Scott Ringle Ballsack's wife.
Yeah.
Lovely.
It was about to engage in tripping with Lisa Ann.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
about to.
It was on the precipice.
Like they said hi to each other at the bar.
Just telling you, I sense the electricity. It's like Katy Perry, and is that Doshi? Is that who was doing that on Thursday night?
Some scissoring.
Absolutely did.
They wouldn't send in the real pictures.
Girl on girl, whatever. That's hot.
Okay.
Is that gluten-free perk?
I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
How's the IQ test going, Chairman? Uh-oh.
Not great.
Tell me what the problem is.
Every date I throw out, one of the people has a conflict of some sort.
People are busy.
Yeah.
People are busy.
It's fall time. This is the time of reckoning.
Yeah.
I think it's lost its luster anyway. I mean, it was something that would have been fun, when we first talked about it, but it's been a month. People have forgotten about it.
I don't know. We could always resurrect
Don't kill yourself trying to get this done.
No, I'm not, but I'm tired of chasing.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Who's been the most problematic?
Perk.
You hesitated.
Insta call.
Yeah, that was an Insta ship. And what are the issues? She has a lot of plans?
Yeah, the date I threw out most recently, she said, "Oh, I'll be in California. What time?"
I thought she was in California last week.
I can't keep it straight.
Doug, they call that visitation living.
Yeah.
Ruin me.
Oh. If you're out of the state, you can't very well be a part of it, I
Well,
guess.
it's on Zoom.
Yeah, but
Oh.
West Coast time.
Well, could it just be a one-on-one thing with Iggy and Little Beer Cats? That's kind of how it started out anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know where the two girls came from.
Yeah, that was Worse Than Woods Wacko submitted his daughter as a trident.
She was in the original crew. I feel like she was. Little Beercats, I feel like latched on later. But a willing and acceptable participant nonetheless.
I haven't forgotten. I have a patch I wear on my journalism jacket. #FreePerk. It's from Brian Henson. Doug, tough start for the Colts.
Real tough.
He wears a journalism jacket.
Jordan Love was Packers taking it to him.
Is that, doctors have the white coats? Do journalists now have a jacket to identify them as an influencer?
Can we bring back the hats with the press on the side?
Love that. Fedora.
Yeah, fedora. It just says press.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Todd Reesing is sending in images of his wife. So I have not seen that from Buzz yet. So
If you're not in St. Louis, congratulations.
Hey.
I'll take Perk's spot, and we'll show these dumbasses the true sense of intelligent. That's from the Midwest Butt Bandit.
Todd Reesing's taller than I remember.
Doug, do you remember Todd Reesing being tall? Or...
Yeah.
Well, kind of. We golfed with him once, right?
Yeah. Kind of looks like he could play the post.
Yeah, he's in the fan page club. What, do you play the Plowhawk?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So he's sending in pictures of his wife challenging, who was it? The
Buzz.
Butt pirate or somebody?
Buzz.
Okay.
They're having a wife off.
I've met Buzz's wife. She's lovely.
No,
Todd Reesing, though, just keeps sending in images. I mean, it's image after image after image. I mean, he isn't scared.
No, we got it, though.
The Warson Woods Wacko and Mr. Licks, I don't know if the balance sheet showdown has taken place.
God, how do we get Monday in football season and people are already sending in pictures of their wives?
ADHD. It's a horrible thing to deal with.
That seems like for February sweeps.
Doesn't Todd Reesing live off of Holly Hills? He can't be doing that well. That's from the Reluctant Cock.
How do these people know where the fake name of people live? It's crazy to me.
Doug, I'm from close to Holly Hills.
If they mention it one time, these people remember it forever. They remember every story we ever tell.
Is Holly Hills on the right or wrong side of Eichelberger?
Oh.
I thought it was Hampton.
I know, but I don't know if there's like
Is there a wrong side of Eichelberger, too?
I don't know. The DB side's the good side.
Holly Hills is where they have all the Christmas lights, right?
Candy Cane Lane is the one that I think of. Uses the hell out of it.
But Holly Hills is right in there, right? Right in
It's
that area.
relatively close.
So you're saying you wouldn't buy a house on Candy Cane Lane?
Not.
I could see you decorating like the Dickens out there.
Couldn't be more confused by it.
Yeah.
People driving by your house at all hours of the night.
You know, there's things that you do when you have young children, Doug. I know that you probably remember this. The wife goes, "Oh, let's go do this," and you just internally go, "Oh, God in heaven!" Like Green Tree yesterday would have been an example of that.
Disney on Ice, that kind of thing.
But fortunately, maybe it's because I grew up so close to Candy Cane Lane. My wife has never, and I think she might be a little confused by it too. I mean, it's a block.
Correct.
I think it's probably the Ted Drews thing.
Yeah.
I assume you're going to Ted Drews
and then
70% of the time that you're doing the Candy Cane Lane. And then you're going to enjoy your delicious, Doug, watch this, enjoy your delicious frozen custard.
You don't have to make that the hand motions.
It's like Ezekiel Elliott after his 20th carry.
Yeah.
I know what it looks like to eat ice cream out of a cup. Well,
it's a Sunday, though. It's not a Sunday.
Todd Reesing has issued a statement. I do live off of Holly Hills. I'm middle class all day.
You're not running for office here, so you don't need that.
Yeah, you have to be middle class to run for office. Otherwise, you're a bad person. If your parents were successful, there's definitely something wrong with you.
Candy Cane Lane's a stain on society. That's from our Solheim Cup correspondent, Tervis Parrish.
So maybe a little far.
Yes. People decorating their houses is a stain on society.
Licks' accountant at H&R Block can't find his tax return. Apparently, 1040 Easies aren't saved at H&R Block for more than 1 month. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko. So he goes to H&R Block to do his return?
They
That's
would
the
save
issue.
him. I think you have to save it for, is it 5 or now 7 years for the burden of proof to be on the IRS?
I've never been audited. I'm not positive.
I haven't either, but that's why you save your returns.
My grandpa always brought me to Candy Cane Lane. Shout out, Frank. Also, most of the residents there are behind on their car payment and mortgages. That's from Springfield Mud Dog. Doug, what is going on with the shaming of my neighborhood?
Don't they usually raise money for some charity?
They do that, and I think they raise money for their the street's electric bill.
bill?
Yeah, because I think it goes. I can imagine that electric bill is crazy for that money.
Yeah, probably.
Having a whole light show.
Small lights, it's nothing compared to an air conditioner or something like that.
That'd be pretty pricey.
Tiny little light bulbs don't.
But it's pretty elaborate. It's like there's some really big Santa Clauses that are moving around. I don't know.
If I sent in a real picture of my wife to this show, she would file for divorce if she found out. The guys who send in real pictures have fully remote jobs, never wash their hair and allow the grease to build up. Their wives are the breadwinners, and they eat pot roast weekly. That's from Wedding Tackle. Very specific. Very specific.
Pot roast is for the poorest now?
Now Buzz has sent in a picture of his wife.
Okay.
So we officially have the wife off, and I guess they want us to tweet those out or put them on the TMA Instagram.
What's the end game here?
Rank them? Do we have a winner and a loser?
If we can get just like 61 more, I can put together a little bracket.
Oh, yeah, Tournament of Wives. TMA Tournament of Wives.
I see no downside to that.
No. No one would be upset.
I see no downside.
Yeah, what do you want us to do? Vote on it and say, oh, sorry, Buzz, your wife isn't as good looking.
Yeah, God.
Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour here on TMA, stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. Go online and go shopping for new or pre-owned vehicles, or if you need to get your car serviced, even if you didn't get it from Munganess, get it serviced with Ryan Seiberg in the service department at Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, 314-252-0029, or go online at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. It's the 7 o'clock hour. Presented to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Keep my wife out your mouth, loser. That's from Ray King.
Okay.
And he has sent in a picture of the guy nuzzling him at a Blues game.
That's how he always, It looks like Gareth.
Those beards are rubbing together like Velcro.
I know. Oh, I like
Tom
that.
Schmidt talks about that.
I like that. Jackson, tell me where I can go wager on Boston College to win the Atlantic Coast Conference.
That'd be Circa, Tim.
Yep.
You can head out to Circa, or you can head to Illinois and you just download the Circa app. Now you have the world's #1 sports book right in the palm of your hands, and you're wagering like the Dickens. Monday Night Football action tonight. Falcons taking on the Eagles in Philly. The Eagles are 5.5-point favorites. The over-under is 46. We got an early line out for that Vandy game. Anyone want to play Guess That Line? If you haven't seen it, for the Vanderbilt game. Missouri, Vanderbilt.
I think I saw something, so I'm going to withdraw.
Doug, you want to take a guess?
I'll say Mizzou by 14.5.
Okay, Iggy?
Mizzou 22.
Okay, Kurt?
17.5.
Mizzou is a 21-point favorite.
I thought I saw.
Vanderbilt comes to Columbia.
I did not participate. Yeah, 21.
21 is the early number on that. The over-under is 53.5 for that game. You're going to have another NFL slate next week. You got Monday Night Football tonight. You got more college football next week. Now is the time to be downloading that Circa Sports app and take a look at some of the other Illinois sports books. Compare the lines. I think you're going to like the lines better at Circa more, especially the future lines. If you want to play a little bet, like Tim just said, Boston College win the ACC. Maybe
Yeah, it's
Missouri.
down to plus 2,500 now.
Yeah. Missouri's plus 3,500 to win it all. You can bet on futures there. Heisman futures, really good numbers on some Heisman futures over there. Quinn Ewers going down. How will that affect the Heisman race? You know, they think it might not be that
Arch
serious.
Manning found Ryan Wingo.
Yeah, Arch Manning looked really good, so I don't know what the situation's going on there. Maybe it's an opportunity for someone like Cam Ward from Miami to make a little run with an easier schedule. Either way, you bet it with Circa. You're going to like the lines
See
over
Luther Burden at plus 10,000. I'm not saying I expect it, but again, plus 10,000.
A lot of value.
101 to my money.
A lot of value. I like the play.
I mean, God bless America.
There's a small little taste. You can bet on that with Circa. You just head over to Illinois right now and download the app. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-223.
Schaefer Door Company sponsor the text inbox, and they set aside times on Monday morning. If your garage door spring broke, you can work with SchaeferDoor.com right now. They set up a number specific for TMA listeners, and that number is 636-782-3608. They service all kinds of garage doors for service and new installs. They have Monday morning standby service for those doors that break over the weekend. So call or text right now, and they're going to be there quick, fast, in a hurry because they set up that time to make sure they can get to you early on Monday morning. It's Schaefer Door Company, SchaeferDoor.com, SCHAEFER door.com. They service commercial doors as well. If you run a business or warehouse with big, tall doors, Schaefer is experienced in these types of jobs. It's Schaefer Door at SchaeferDoor.com, a Clopay Master Authorized Dealer. They're hiring, so if you're looking to make a career change and work with Jason Gossrow, go to SchaeferDoor.com or call or text 636-782-3608. It's Schaefer Door Company online at SCHAEFER door.com. Coming up at 9 o'clock, the Colonel is going to be with us in the 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance, 9 o'clock hour. James Carlton will be in, and we'll take your two-part questions for the Colonel, Gabriel P. DeArmond, who did a post-game show. I watched it. I watched it. Had it up on the TV.
How did it go for him?
There were some really angry drunk fans, and the Colonel was happy about it because he asked for fans to get drunk. Yeah. And there was profanity. Gabe is under the impression that if you use the F word on YouTube that they're going to pull you. And I just think he's got bad information, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, he's wrong. He said, I think YouTube only allows you one F-bomb, and that's just not. Now, for monetization purposes, you can, if you do too much of it, you can get, you only put some advertisers on there. You can't get advertisements for certain companies if you swear a lot in your videos. But generally, you can say whatever you want.
I don't know.
They definitely won't get taken down. They'll never get taken down.
So, the post-game show was full of voicemails. A lot of people angry with Brady Cook. A lot of people angry that Missouri had the penalties it had. And I think people were happy that Drinkwitz got in Luther Burden's face after... one or both of them. I don't remember which one. Was it the second one that he went over?
Yeah, it's the second one. He was like, this is ridiculous.
So we'll talk that over with the Colonel, who is now higher on... He said Missouri's going to be a favorite in every game they play, minus Alabama.
Yep. When they go to A&M, they'll likely be a favorite, I would think.
Likely, you would assume that Missouri wins against Vanderbilt.
I guess we're going to see what Oklahoma's really like with Tennessee coming to Norman this weekend.
Yeah.
I think we'll also see what Tennessee's all about, too, because they beat NC State on the road 51-10. That's not nothing to sneeze at, but...
That's sold on NC State at this moment.
Yeah, this weekend we're going to find out two major players in the SEC, what they're really made of.
So that's coming up this weekend, in addition to Michigan hosting USC as a Jim Dandy for Michigan's new involvement.
Classic
Big Ten matchup.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're so mad. You're mad as a hornet. I've never seen you so mad.
Just a banty little rooster.
All right, we have that coming your way coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. Fisher Window and Door Store, 8 o'clock hour coming up next. This is TMA, and it's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Looking for the perfect spot for your next private event? Whether it's a baby shower, bridal shower, birthday party, or business meeting, Rosalita's has you covered. Enjoy the vibrant atmosphere in one of Rosalita's 2 exclusive private rooms with a customized menu that is perfect for your upcoming event. And if you're planning a date night, don't miss the lively mariachi nights every Friday and Saturday. Plus, Rosalita's gift cards make the perfect gift for any occasion. Come celebrate at Rosalita's, where every event is a fiesta. Learn more at rosalitascantina.com.
This is the one.
Honey, I think you're right. This house has everything we've ever dreamed of. A huge master bedroom, an open kitchen, and a backyard with a fire pit and built-in grill.
I can't believe it. Finally, our dream home. It's absolutely perfect for us.
We owe our realtor big time.
No, you don't. We're just doing our job. At the Jeff Lotman Group, helping you find your dream home is our top priority. Bringing people and properties together. Call us at 314-406-8911 or visit us online at jefflotman.com.
Elevate your performance. Pure Performance is your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications, known for their top quality work and outstanding customer service. It's officially Jeep and Bronco season. Pure Performance carries any accessory for your vehicle, old models to brand new. From sunshades, soft tops, trail doors, to off-road gear like bumpers and light bars, Pure Performance has you covered. Stop by the Pure Performance showroom at 3725 Harry S. Truman Boulevard in St. Charles or visit pureperformance.com. That's PURperformance.com.
John, it's time.
For what?
The kitchen. It was fine when we moved in, but that was when we were poor. Now it's falling apart.
Poor? Just because I didn't support your Zen garden idea doesn't mean we're poor.
These quick fixes the previous owners did just to sell this place is not cutting it anymore.
Okay, let's go.
Where?
To Collier and Thompson. If we're going to do it, it should be done the right way. And honestly, they've got everything we'll need, and I don't want to go to 6 or 7 different stores. What do you say? Babe?
John, they close at 5. You're wasting daylight.
This couple knows what they're doing. Collier & Thompson is first class, top-of-the-line products with high-quality work. If something goes wrong, my guy Matthew will go back and help out. Collier & Thompson remodels kitchens, bathrooms, man caves, office space, bars, wine rooms, even fireplace walls. Their 10,000-square-foot showroom with more than 20 kitchen displays is on Manchester Road in Baldwin, right next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Let Collier & Thompson bring your dream remodel to reality online at collierandthompson.com.
Hi, this is Chris Pondoff from Illinois Recovery Center. As someone who battled alcoholism and addiction for 20 plus years, I understand the dark places you can find yourself stuck in. Alcoholism and substance abuse takes a heavy toll on your body and your mind, but you can overcome it. Start your journey to recovery at the Illinois Recovery Center, a rehab treatment center that provides comprehensive and customized rehabilitation addiction treatment. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, please know that there is hope. Visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com today.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
After a serious car accident, people have two questions. Why me and what now? Well, no one knows why you, but I'm Terry Crouppen, and my law firm Brown & Crouppen sure can help with the what now. Car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown & Crouppen, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. James, I love getting emails from listeners who support the sponsors. Got one from a client of yours who switched, and you immediately saved him $1,000, and it meant the world to him.
The area that we're really having an impact on people's finances are people with drivers under the age of 25. We are seeing material savings for these types of clients, hundreds, if not even thousands of dollars per year.
James Carlton, Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Introducing the first ever TMA Banty Brew, a 16-ounce canned wheat ale with orange and coriander and an image of all four TMA boys across the front. The Banty Brew, a refreshing ale made with white wheat, ground coriander, and fresh whole oranges. Head to any Salt and Smoke location today to try the TMA Banty Brew. Must be 21 or older to consume or purchase. See the can at TMASTL.com and find a participating location to try it for yourself. Brought to you by Charlottesville Brewery and Winery in St. Genevieve, Show Me Beverages, and Salt and Smoke. Find out more at TMASTL.com.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Check out listener rewards on the new TMA mobile app. Watch the show live on the TMA studio cams. Find it at TMASTL.com. Get the podcast on the TMA app. Download it now.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Brown & Crouppen Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Hey, if you like the Morning After, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the Morning After. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
105.7 HD2. It's the Brown & Crouppen Morning After. Looking for the perfect spot for your next private event? Whether it's a baby shower, bridal shower, birthday party, or business meeting, Rosalita's has you covered. Enjoy the vibrant atmosphere in one of Rosalita's 2 exclusive private rooms with a customized menu that is perfect for your upcoming event. And if you're planning a date night, don't miss the lively mariachi nights every Friday and Saturday. Plus, Rosalita's gift cards make the perfect gift for any occasion. Come celebrate at Rosalita's, where every event is a fiesta. Learn more at rosalitascantina.com. 105.7 HD2. It's the Brown & Crouppen Morning After.
Cardinals, Blue Jays.
We dropped all 3, Timmy. Still a chance to finish in dead last place. What? They could technically be out of the division race today if the Redbirds lose and the Brewers win.
But that means there's still a chance if they're not eliminated.
Still a chance. We are asking no quarter and giving none.
I'm starting to think the Reds might want quarter.
They're starting to quarter up a little bit. They've lost, the Reds have lost 1 in a row.
Fisher Window and Door Store, providing you with quality American-made Marvin windows and doors. Visit their showroom in Brentwood or East Alton, Illinois, or online at fisherwindow.com. That's FISCHER. Window.com. 8 o'clock hour sponsor here on TMA. Gabe DeArmond Coming up with us at 9 o'clock, he's brought to you by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. And then we'll have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Send yours in to compete and see if you can beat Kevin Miller and Buck Swope. They're really starting to pull away from the field. Fun to watch them play, though. Fun to watch them play.
Fun, good time.
And then at 10 o'clock, Jackson and I are going to go down the hallway. Give Doug an idea of what we got coming up on Balloon Party.
I'd like to hear it. What do you have?
A weekend recap.
Oh, that's it.
We're going to recap the weekend that was in sport.
All right. Because people really have no way to access that information until...
Well, what the hell else would we talk about?
Oh.
Wow.
Well, seriously, if you're not going to talk about what happened over the weekend on a Monday, what do you talk about?
Okay.
Like forecasting what's to come?
Maybe you advance the stories.
That's all right.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not just going to read box scores.
No.
Although I'd be open to that.
You could.
Scott Van Pelt and Stanford Steve, they record a podcast on Saturday nights.
Really?
And it was great. I was listening to it this morning, like at 5 a.m.
So Stanford Steve goes from wherever they are at game day.
Yeah.
Goes back to D.C. or I guess to.
And it's just college football, and it's a great listen. I'm pretty sure it's Saturday night.
It's interesting.
I think the listeners would be. I mean, either way, it was in my feed.
Yeah. He's not broadcasting any games, so I guess he's.
And he had SportsCenter last night following. I know that game's on NBC with the Collinsworth family, but the Texans and Bears, and then they recapped the NFL yesterday. But yeah, they go deep on the college football. Very confused about 45 minutes in the podcast about Missouri's trip to Amherst. That's going to continue to get more and more attention, assuming, especially if Missouri wins at A&M and they're 6-0. Is that what they would be, Doug? They'd be 5-0, I guess. Yeah. And it's a big weekend in college football, and Missouri's sitting there at number 4 or 5 in the country.
Yeah, it's the biggest.
And Missouri taking on UMass at Amherst.
Yeah, I mean, you have you have Penn State at USC. You got Ole Miss at LSU. You got Ohio State at Oregon. You got Clemson at Wake Forest. That's not a great game, but there's a ton of awesome games. Texas at Oklahoma, Red River Shootout, and then Mizzou takes on UMass in Amherst.
Then we cut to a shot of Jim Sturk looking sheepish in his retirement, saying, "Hey, we needed the check."
Get involved on the program, 636-900-4TMA, Callier and Thompson phone lines. Text into the Schaefer Door Company, text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. And see if you would like to be the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. You go to TMASTL.com. You can keep your anonymity, and then you can sign up. And welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. That's Milagro, sponsor of our Listener of the Month, Milagro Tequila. And you should probably spend some time thinking about it.
That's what I'm doing now.
Billy Napier, it hasn't gone well. They're not happy in the swamp, Doug. They were getting, you call it gobsmacked by the Aggies. Right. And here's a little sound from that affair.
Billy getting booed is part of the job, but it was pretty loud and pretty intense at the end of the first half, and again, leaving the field. What's that feel like for you, and do you think you deserved a chance to get this thing turned around?
Well, I don't blame. I have no excuse, and I have no negative comment about that. I mean, ultimately, when you play a certain way in this arena, you're going to be criticized, right? So this is one of those places where there's history and tradition and expectations. There's been a lot of really good football teams that played in that stadium in the past. When you play ugly ball, and maybe it doesn't look quite like we all want it to, then hey, it comes with the territory. So, I probably would have done the same thing, truth be known.
He would have booed his team too.
He's so content with getting he just let him get fired. Just fire.
It's $26 million.
So he can just move. He's so content. He knows he's.
And
out.
the thing about their schedule is it hasn't even gotten tough yet. They have the toughest schedule in the country, and it hasn't gotten tough yet. The Florida schedule was ranked toughest schedule in the country, and all they've had so far is Miami, which could wind up being super difficult, but. And A&M, and then Samford. Doug, here's what the Gators have. Now it lightens up here at Mississippi State, Cowbell Stingray this Saturday. That's an early kick, as you might expect. Then UCF, Then they're at Tennessee, at home against Kentucky, at home against, or the neutral site game against Georgia, at Texas, at home against LSU, at home against Ole Miss. And then what looked like it was going to be difficult at the beginning of the year, but now we've got a problem in Tallahassee.
Yes.
How far is Tallahassee from Gainesville? Would you say 2.5 hours? 2 hours?
I'd say about that. That's about right.
Mike Norvell lost to Memphis. And now, after losing to Georgia Tech, our friends from Boston College, and Memphis, the undefeated going into their bowl game, Florida State Seminoles last year, are winless going into week 4 this year. Here's Mike Norvell's postgame.
Oh, I'd like to hear that as well. All right.
I tell it to teams all the time, momentum takes one play. I mean, that's it. That's all it takes to change it. And, we just, obviously have had some opportunities that...
Lauren just went out to get him out.
That we needed to respond in those situations. But I think from their attitude, their approach, even they're in the locker room, we're all disappointed. As we continue to work and continue to pour into each other and the opportunity we have.
They're burning down the stadium. They're burning down the stadium. But how upset can you get as a coach, really, if you're Billy Napier in Gainesville? There's some sports writer there at a small local paper making $38,500 a year.
Oh, he must have been there for a while.
Bonus season.
Trying to make you cry and bring you to your knees. And if you get fired, you get a $26 million buyout.
Yeah.
How upset can you be, really?
Yeah, they have
Mississippi. And he came from Louisiana, right?
Right. So they have Mississippi State next. If they don't beat them, but they'll probably let him play, and then they'll get smoked by UCF, and then that's when they'll...
Wouldn't you think if he was getting fired this week, it would have happened by now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So they're going to let him stick around and probably get a win. You lose to Mississippi State. I didn't realize how bad that was.
They put up 3 points last...
Mississippi State. I know nobody's paying attention to Mississippi State, but I
Mizzou
get into college football. I know, but that's a real problem. And then UCF... they were going to lose at TCU this week and then did a little comeback. Aren't you? You're a UCF guy, aren't you?
I was saying that TCU-UCF game was going to be a great game, and the spread was 1, and so I think it was a push because I think it was UCF -1.
How about that?
They won by 1 point, so that was I looked at that game and said there's a lot there. But they got KJ Jefferson. They're clearly talented. Yeah, Mississippi State lost to Toledo 41-17
at home, right?
This was in Starkville.
They had to pay like $1.5 million because there was some schedule change, and Toledo said we'll do it, and then they came down there and just skull left them.
41-17.
Let's see. Just received Kurt's former coworker. Is this somebody you know, Chairman?
Probably a different Kurt.
Oh, got it. Says, sent in a screenshot. Word is he's getting fired today. Just received word from a source in Florida that the University of Florida will look to move on from head coach Billy Napier. The Gators are expected to make an announcement possibly by Monday. Okay.
That kind of looks like a fake Twitter avatar, for being honest.
W. Keith Friedman. Doug, do you follow W?
I don't. W.C. Fields.
Yeah. He didn't like children, cats, or dogs, right?
No.
He looks like a Plowhawk Twitter avatar. Looks like some Plowhawk can screenshot and uses his Twitter avatar.
Maybe when their coach gets fired, he can come to the 314 and give Mo some lessons on what they're supposed to say to their fans. That's exactly what Cards fans want to hear, but never do. Happy week, boys. That's from Sharon in Clayton. Doug, another female listener.
Fair enough, but if I'm a Florida fan, I don't give a rat's ass what Billy Napier has to say after the game. I just want my football team to be better. They're Florida, man. This is not a...
Can you talk about the what have you done for me lately society? How do you like Mike Norvell's situation where 1 year he's undefeated and one of the highest-ranked coaches in the country? Didn't he even get a sniff at Alabama? Weren't they considering
he was one of the
hiring him
guys who had to issue a statement saying that he wasn't taking it.
Now, 3 weeks into the next season, they want him out and are burning down the stadium.
Do they want him out?
I don't know.
I don't know on that. The Napier one is a universally agreed upon.
Yeah. I mean, Memphis is actually a good, they're a team.
Memphis has been talked about as a 12 seed.
Yeah, them and
getting
Boise State,
that group of 5 spot.
Who Oregon played and had a tough time with. There are some people thinking that those.
What about Barry Odom and the UNLV running Rebels?
Kansas in their all beak uniforms probably tell you about that.
What's an all beak uniform?
Their whole logo now is just the beak of the Jayhawk.
I don't like that.
It's all beak. You want to talk about long bills? It's all the beak. But Florida State, I don't think they want him out. I mean, that would be pretty. I mean, I'm sure there's a contingency of people who totally want him out, but I don't know if the consensus in Florida State and Tallahassee is Mark Norvell needs to be out. I mean, their transfer quarterback just does not look.
What if they have a year like Mizzou had in basketball, where you like run the table in your conference or something? Well, that could happen to Florida possibly.
SEC wise,
yeah.
If they don't beat Mississippi State, then there's a serious problem. But I hear what you're saying. Florida State they'll pick up a couple victories. The ACC isn't that good.
You would think.
Would you say the ACC's whack?
I never use that
not with
terminology.
Miami. I think Miami might be some real gamers. I don't know. Cam Ward, he's super talented. I like the mindset he has.
Doug, do you like Cam Moore's mindset?
I really like where he's at right now, mentally. I mean,
here is the college football playoff 2024 projections. Doug, you like a guessing game, though.
I do.
Here are the projections from The Athletic. You want to take a guess as who they have number one?
What are we guessing now?
The college football playoff projections.
Playoff projections. Well, couldn't you just go down to where the rankings are right now and pretty much figure it out?
Well, that's if you don't respect Austin Mock.
Talk about not doing the work.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Austin Mock just put in
Austin Mock can kiss my fanny.
It's crazy that a guy making a mock playoffs name is Austin Mock.
Good chance this is AI.
Why do we need a mock playoff?
AI mock.
If we have the ratings.
ESPN, I feel like, does every 5-minute playoff projection. Heather Dinich has been relegated to doing a playoff projection article daily. So clearly they're getting clicks.
And ESPN.
Because fan bases are across the board bad crap in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so especially when you bring it to the SEC and it just automatically, whatever school is left out, all hell breaks loose.
Right.
All right, Doug, you love Austin Mock. You recognize him.
I don't like the guy at all.
Who's number one?
Well, Texas is number one right now.
Not according to Austin Mock.
Oh. Was he got Georgia?
He does. All right, so you're on the same page.
So he's smarter than everyone else, picking Georgia ahead of Texas right now.
Well, Doug, you got to pick the four conference
you don't
champions.
have to hold up your number 4. I know what the word 4 means.
Fourth quarter.
Without a visual aid.
You're getting a little antsy this morning. You need to give you a back rub or something?
No.
Ooh.
Gosh, no.
HR.
Well, they got to pick all right, I'll put my hands by my
Yes.
side. You have to pick the 4 conference champions for the top 4 spots. Those get the top 4 spots.
Jackson's kind of talking down to you like you didn't know that.
No, but I'm
Really,
saying
really
I
is.
had a sense that Alabama was going to come next. If Georgia's in the top 4, then Alabama cannot be.
Well, and neither could Texas, right?
Correct.
Only one.
Right.
So I'll say Texas. I'll say,
No, we just
that's what I'm picking. I don't care about
But
Austin
you
Mock.
can't. They can't be 2.
Yeah.
So he's picking Georgia. Okay, now we're moving on to another conference.
There you go.
I'll say Miami in the ACC.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, screw him.
Is he like Louisville?
Who's he have one in the ACC?
But that's
Ohio State.
Thank you, Iggy.
Ohio State in the ACC?
No, Ohio State 2. We're going in order here.
Oh, I said I was going by conference just to get the 4. I didn't know we had an order. Maybe if Jackson held up 4 fingers, I would have understood it. Okay.
Who's 3?
Little baby.
3. Oh, who's Big 12? Big 12. Oh.
Who's in the Big 12 is a great
I
question.
don't even know who's there
UCF.
anymore. Now I'll go Miami.
That's correct.
Okay.
Nice.
Buys me a little time to think of a team in the Big 12 that might win it all.
I think there's one that's likely.
Oklahoma State.
There you go.
No.
Really?
Of course. Can I have initials, please?
KS.
KS. Kickapoo State? Kansas State.
Kansas State.
Okay.
Keep an eye on that late night trip to Provo this weekend for Kansas
keep an
State.
eye
They put it on
that.
Zona, though. They're ranked.
All right, Doug, who's 5? This
I
is
gotta come
Austin
with a
Mock on
fifth.
The Athletic.
There isn't even a 5th conference now, is there?
No. Now it's anybody.
5. Okay, 5 will be Texas.
That's correct. See, you know this. You and Austin Mock.
Okay, because now it can be anybody.
Correct.
That's right.
Okay, and 6 will be like Alabama.
No, I'm sorry.
No, of course, Austin Mack can read the future.
Mock.
Shelvin Mack. Real good Butler player.
Okay.
Return of the Mac Morrison.
So I got to come up with another name. Ole Miss,
No, I'm sorry.
Tennessee,
No, I'm sorry.
Missouri.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, if he can kiss my patoot. Oregon.
Yes!
Okay.
You're on the same.
All right.
Put it on him in Corvallis this weekend.
They did.
I told you that
Gabriel.
spread was funky. There's something about that spread that was
Now
funky.
start throwing your SEC teams in there, Doug.
Okay. I've already thrown in Alabama.
Yes.
Okay.
Here you go.
All right. Now, Ole Miss.
No, sorry.
I'm sorry. He knows better. Tennessee.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
Really?
of course not.
Did you
He
mention
knows better.
Texas yet?
Yeah, you got Texas. Texas is 5.
Okay.
Oregon 6. Roll Tide 7, who is 8.
8.
This is the college football playoff. Austin Mox from the Athletic.
Did you mention Ole Miss yet?
Ole Miss is 9, but we haven't gotten 8 yet.
You gotta get 8.
And I didn't say Missouri.
No, I'm sorry.
Tennessee.
No, I'm sorry.
God bless America. Penn State.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
They're playing Ole Miss.
All right.
That'll be in Happy Valley.
I don't care where it is anymore. I used to.
Who's number 10?
I don't anymore. Missouri.
No.
Damn it. Ole Miss.
No.
Tennessee.
No.
Damn it all.
No.
USC.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That means Missouri's going to be left out.
Who's 11?
Missouri.
No, I'm sorry.
Damn it. Tennessee.
Yes.
Okay.
And now you got to get a group of 5 team.
You have to?
Yeah.
That's who gets the spot.
Yeah. That's why Missouri might get left out.
Ole Miss is ranked 5th, and they're not going to make it.
They're 9.
They're ranked 9th?
Well, in Austin Mox.
Okay. I didn't hear Ole Miss in there. Okay.
Group of 5, Northern Illinois.
No, I'm sorry.
Can I have initials, please?
BS.
BS. Boise State.
Yes.
Okay.
Their running back is really good.
Heisman hopeful.
Yeah, they think he might get some Heisman votes.
His rankings beyond that, he's got Utah, or he's got K-State at 11, Utah at 12, Notre Dame at 13, Boise State at 14, Louisville at 15, Clemson at 16, LSU at 17, UNLV at 18, Oklahoma State at 19, Iowa State at 20.
This is unbelievable.
Uh-oh, Jackson.
What's wrong with that sack ass?
Oh my God. UNLV?
Missouri didn't even get in the top 20?
UNLV is better than Missouri, is what this guy's saying.
He's got Missouri, he's got them at 21, and he's got them finishing 8-4.
Okay. All right.
And who is this guy? Who's
Austin Mock. He is
I
the college
heard the
football.
name. Who's he with?
I'm with
The
you,
Athletic.
Doug. I'm with you. 8-4? You have to drop like the BC. I guess maybe he thinks it was the 3 big ones and then like SC. And maybe he's right. I don't know. I'm not going to start counting my chickens yet, but this guy sucks.
Yeah, he sure does.
I liked his playoff. Like that made sense to me, but the rankings after the fact, like some of those teams you just mentioned.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would agree with you on the
NIU.
4. I mean, I think Georgia, Ohio State, Miami, K-State.
Yeah.
That's legitimately because the Big 12 thing is anarchy.
Yeah.
But Miami winning the ACC certainly would be likely.
Might be the most likely of any of the Power 4 conferences. Like if I had to place a bet right
Just
now,
because how bad the rest of the.
maybe Ohio State because they might be that much more dominant, but at least you have someone to fight.
Maybe
back.
Oregon's figured it out though now. Maybe Oregon's figured it out.
Yeah, maybe
though.
Oregon's fair. Penn State's still sitting there, but Miami has like BC and Louisville, and that's it.
This guy, Austin Mock, whoever the hell he is, he clearly did not watch the Cotton Bowl when Missouri beat a very determined Ohio State bunch.
Now Marvin Harrison, who had 130 yards in the first quarter yesterday, did not play in that game.
I don't care. He wasn't committed, but everyone else was.
That's right. That's right.
Jackson's belief that UNLV is ranked higher is classic aggrieved Mizzou fan reaction. Injected into my veins. That's from Big Tuft.
I don't know what this mock guy saw at a UNLV. I cannot understate how lucky they got at the end of that half against Kansas when they let 30 seconds with 2 timeouts, let 30 seconds run off the clock and almost didn't get a play off before the half ended and somehow still scored. Shout out to Lance Leopold's defense.
Didn't have a clue how to run the clock.
It was terrible.
I saw that in that Georgia game a few years ago. Remember that? How horrible that was?
Yeah.
Let's run a hurry-up offense when we're ahead by 6 with a minute to go.
Yeah. I don't see a world in which any of those teams listed after the top 12 were better than Missouri.
So Mizzou is not in this effing ranking? Stop sniffing glue, dumbass! This guy should be fired and strapped to an electric chair and drink call Flip the Lever to watch him fry.
I want him
from
let
the
go.
Orson Woods Wacko.
Listen, I'm no Tiger nationalist. I know Missouri has its faults, but that's a little. I mean, 8-4. I don't know. Maybe I don't see it.
Well, if they don't play better than they did this last Saturday, They could lose 4 SEC games.
I think, and again, now I'm trying to say I'm not a Tiger nationalist. I have never seen a fumbled snap be picked up so cleanly, like where you don't break stride and you're able to get a throw off. Like that right there set a weird tone for the game, where you go up 14-3 after that. Like, in all honesty, Missouri pretty much dominated that football game. Outside of the first drive,
first quarter they didn't. They were down 14-3.
But I just said, like, there's no, like, that's such a fluky play they scored on the second one.
But the guy
They
made
drove
a play.
down the field in the first drive.
First one was fair, but the guy
But
also
it was a
got
bad
bailed out.
hands to the face penalty. But hey, penalties are part of it.
No,
and
I
they
don't-
contributed to that. Otherwise, they're punt. But Boston College is essentially hinging on they cannot have a first down penalty, because then that means Castellanos is going to be throwing, and that's a problem. But if they can run and first down and they just pick up yardage and chop away at it, I just think they're going to be a dangerous team with that offensive line.
Missouri held them to under 50 rushing yards. They had like 200 in the first 2 games. So, like, I mean, that's a huge credit to Missouri's defense. And they're getting 2 picks. Brady Cook, for as, you know, not being there where we want him to be, also didn't throw a pick. There was no turnover by Missouri. Like, that game could have gone a lot worse for Missouri, but they kind of played pretty well for quarters 2 and 3 and half of 4.
Wait till Austin Mock sees us in Amherst. Go F yourself! That's from Chairman Stephen Wildwood.
That's right. That's what will prove ourselves to the nation.
Chairman Steve is going to up there, right?
I guess so.
Him and 100 others.
There was just a smattering of BC fans there Saturday. Not many. Just a tiny little contingent.
Austin Mock looks like a soft bear. Guarantee you he has a hairy crack.
No, we don't know that for sure.
Some Father Brown Eye?
That's one criticism he could not have expected when he put that list together.
That his hole's hairy?
Yeah.
He's all stat models and simulations and stuff, so maybe they're seeing something I don't see.
All these projections are engagement farming. Mizzou's fan base is engaged right now. Leaving them off and ranking them low will get clicks and comments. Check Brett McMurphy's AP poll. He has them at 14.
But you don't have
Is that true?
Is that right? That sounds about
I thought I saw his poll yesterday and he has them at 7.
A lot of those AP polls had Missouri further down.
Doug, where does
than they
Brett
did further
McMurphy
up.
have...
I don't have any clue.
You got to do some show
Nor
prep, man.
care.
Got to do some show prep. What about Lily Avu's approach at 18?
Well, that approach was really approachable, I thought. You know, they wanted to get it close, as we all do, to get up and down. And that was the key. And if you can't, then, you know, it's going to cost you. But if you can, it's going to help you. That's how I saw that go down.
And it won the Solheim Cup. Brett McMurphy has Missouri at 7.
Yeah. I think Tennessee, rightly so, leapfrog Mizzou. I think they've proven that they are... I mean, they might have something super special in their quarterback.
Maybe. Hold on a second. Maybe what Brett McMurphy posted, the new AP poll, he did it a couple different times. Here's his ballot.
Taylor's version?
On his ballot he has it at 14. My apologies. I was looking at his timeline, and he posted the AP rankings, but that was what came out.
I wonder where he had them.
He has
last
Missouri at 14, behind Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Utah. He loves the Big 12. Tennessee's at 10. Penn State's at 7.
He has Tennessee at 10? That's insanity. That might be engagement farming. How could you have watched Tennessee and say there's 9 other teams better than them?
He misses Phil Fulmer.
Yeah.
And T. Martin.
What about Derek Dooley?
Does not miss him.
Derek
Butch
Dooley.
Jones?
Does not miss him either.
Jeremy Pruitt?
I don't think so.
Fast food bags?
Well, we have 356. This is like an all-time high in the YouTube chat, at least without a woman in the studios.
Austin Mock.
Austin Mock engages
Mock
people. And I went in there, and I see that, Chairman, you're talking it over with Kara Blake?
I just said hi. Wanted to welcome her.
What's going on? Who's Kara Blake?
I don't know.
Dude. It's a dude?
Doug, you're surprised.
Yeah. Did you say Kara or Carol?
Looks like Kara.
Okay.
You just asked her how she feels about her feet.
What'd she say?
She hasn't answered yet. I'm waiting.
Oh, you think you're going to chase her off just as soon as she gets on?
I don't know.
No, they probably know what the deal is if you sign up for this mess.
Another girl. What's been happening to the YouTube chat where all these women flock to it now? That's from Jake Reynolds.
Okay. So Brett McMurphy had Mizzou at 14 last week as well. So I guess he's just not moving.
Okay.
A lot of Big 12 ahead of him, which is interesting. But
I would contend if they don't play better than they did Saturday, you could possibly have losses at Texas A&M, against Auburn, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Arkansas. Yeah, you're going to have to play better than they played Saturday to beat all those teams.
yes, I don't disagree with that. Like penalty-wise, you can't play games like that penalty-wise and expect to win a lot of football games. But, I mean, that was the most glaring issue. Outside of that, they didn't really play all that bad.
So you're going to go in 7-5?
No, I'm not saying they will lose all those. I'm saying that they have the potential to. If they don't, I mean, Cook has not thrown the ball really very accurately in the first 3 games that they played.
Not deep.
He's going to have to be better than that.
But his
I
mid-level,
agree with that.
Yeah, his deep balls have to be better. There's no doubt.
I agree with that. It's now at a point where you go, okay. And their biggest pass play of the day was the Luther Burden pass that was his first reception, and that thing was
tipped, was it?
Super close to being picked. And then I think maybe the biggest break for Missouri the whole game was, if you recall, Boston College had a defender right in his face. The ball was tipped up in the air in the first quarter, I think.
I could have made it 14-0.
Ooh, cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Cats and dogs.
It was actually a good play by Cook to like kind of smack it away.
Doug, I'll bet Kai's home that Mizzou will lose to only Alabama. That's from the Orson Woods Wacko. So he's willing to put up sweet, sweet Kai's home.
I don't believe he's a homeowner. No, so.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's under his fiance's name.
Right, yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
buried in a trust fund somewhere.
Yeah.
Dogtown Ty. Speaking of engagement farming, did you see Ken's scolding hot boomer farming last night? There's something called boomer farming. That's Dogtown Ty. He's
No,
won
what is
back-to-back
that?
fan page club championships. Like, what's?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
Did you
Dogtown
post
Ty,
something
call in.
of interest to boomers?
No clue.
Okay.
What would I post for a boomer?
I just don't.
He's legitimately sleeping on the show! Wake his ass up! It's Harrison's brother Master, and he sent in a screenshot. He says you're sleeping.
Well, you always do that. You wait till I put my head down. Look, he's sleeping. He's sleeping. Get a screenshot of it. Put on the fan page. He's sleeping. No, and my hat is not fitting right, so it's way down here. I can't get it to stay up.
There's nothing worse than a comfortable media person.
Bring on the Drew Pine era! That's from Doug's prison wallet.
That's crazy to me. No. I mean, that rushing touchdown Brady had was like the way to stop on it.
He's
like
a
that and
heck
score.
of a runner.
Yeah.
Tough as nails. Good size. I'd like to almost see him run more.
I don't like
short yardage situations.
I didn't like the design. I like design runs like near the goal line, but they ran like a design run on like 2nd and 7, and I hated that call. Like if you're gonna do that, just give it to Luther. If you're gonna do a design run, do a design run for Luther, not Brady. Brady's better, I think, when he scrambles out and finds space to run.
Yeah.
But he's got a little Josh Allen, John Elway in him where he'll leap and run however he needs to get the yards, which is great, but also is kind of scary.
It looks like Kara is not responding to Chairman's questions, and now a number of gentlemen have started to ask her questions.
Oh, gosh, poor thing.
Yeah, look at the love they have for each other.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
It's like turning on the light bulb outside. Here come the mosquitoes.
Hey, guys, Kara is now the front runner for Listener of the Month. That's from Big Tuft. Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? Doug, tell me about Schaefer Door Company, sponsor the text inbox.
Well, they can get you a new garage door. Maybe there's nothing wrong with your garage door, only it's old and you don't know when you hit the button if it's going to go up or it's going to go down. Yes, you don't know. So maybe you need a whole new door, and that's where Schaefer Door can come in. They install LiftMaster garage doors. Those are the best. LiftMaster garage door openers are strong, quiet, and versatile. It's what you'd want if you need to replace your door completely. If you don't, of course, Schaefer Door is right there to service all kinds of doors. Small doors, tall doors. If you run a business or a warehouse, got those big, giant garage doors, Schaefer Doors experience there. They can take care of that lickety-split. Best to call or text at 636-782-3608. Their website is schaeferdoor.com. That's SCHAEFER.com. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a job for a great company, family-owned business that's had multiple family members work there, Some of their technicians have been there many, many years, which is an indication of just what a great place it is to work. Schaefer Door, they can handle your garage door problems, anything that might happen, and they have that Monday morning standby service for doors that break over the weekend. That's SchaeferDoor.com. Schaefer Door is a LiftMaster partner.
And Pure Performance. Elevate your performance. Pure Performance, your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications, and they are known for their top quality work and outstanding customer service. The 25,000 square foot facility houses the largest showroom in the area where you can find anything and everything that you might need to enhance your vehicle. After over 40 years of outfitting the best-dressed vehicles in the St. Louis and St. Charles areas, you can trust that your prized investment is in great hands at Pure Performance. Stop by the Pure Performance showroom today, located at 3725 Harry S. Truman Boulevard in St. Charles, or visit pureperformance.com. That's P-U-R performance.com. Pure Performance online. Pure Performance, P-U-R performance.com. Or go ask for Shelby at 3725 Harry S. Truman Boulevard in St. Charles. All right, we close out the Fisher Window and Door Store 8 o'clock hour. We will have the 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance 9 o'clock hour coming up with James Carlton in studio and Gabe DeArmond on the Collier and Thompson phone lines, talking it over, taking your two-part questions on college football, on Missouri as they get ready for Vanderbilt, and the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Then Jackson and I go down to hallway and we will deal with it. We'll talk a lot of Cardinals and Blue Jays, kind of go through each game up in Canada.
Oh, no.
What?
Every game we're going to dissect?
This past weekend. Fun little series.
Okay.
Tough to see him fall short. But don't give up.
It was tough. Yeah. You were hurt by it?
We're going to rank favorite signature monuments in Major League Baseball, and where does, like, the Toronto pointy thing?
The Toronto pointy thing?
What is that?
Up on top of their stadium?
No, it's like the
shrub.
The famous thing that's where Drake sat for views. What's it called? It's called something.
I don't know.
But, like, how does that compare against the Space Needle? And more
that's what we got coming up.
Yeah.
The Space Needle isn't a baseball monument.
No, neither is the Toronto thing. That's what makes it so vexing.
So you're just talking about city monuments?
CN Tower.
CN Tower, thank you.
Jackson, they're not happy with you. Pale calling these players by their first names like he knows them. What a dork! That's from the Breakfast Club, and then the text right after that. Jackson is using a lot of first names. Seems like the media member is a little too close to the team to be objective. Soft!
When I say Brady and Luther, these guys aren't deities. It's not like I was like using their name in vain. When I say Brady, you know who I'm talking about, Brady Cook. When I say Luther, you know who I'm talking about. What am I supposed to say, Burden? His name is Luther Burden. Whatever.
Most people would say Burden.
I'm not most people.
No.
Built different, am different, taste different.
What did that mean right there?
Find out.
Oh.
M-I-Z.
I don't know what this means. Not seeing any screenshots on the pin, Mr. Tim. Sounds like another lie from the Strode man. Hashtag free perk. Hashtag justice for Wellington. Don't ask questions. I'm #1 hashtag minor now. Brian Henshin.
I didn't follow any
What did any of that mean?
What's justice for Wellington? What do we do to him?
Yeah, what happened to Wellington? He's carrying a bag around South Dakota this weekend.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah. He's a happy guy, too. He's just good energy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's lay out the situation.
I get it.
He makes a nice living traveling not just the country but the world. He gets to enjoy coitus with friends from all over.
Yeah, that's true.
Thanks to his Tinder page.
I think he's banned from Bumble. Is it Hinge that he does his work on?
He got banned from Bumble?
Yeah, that's what that thank you, that Chairman Kurt had.
I thought
drink
she
with.
just banned. She just blocked
No.
him. I didn't realize he got thrown off the whole site.
She got him thrown off the whole thing.
What did he do to get thrown off the whole site?
Called her on what he thought was a false charity.
And that got him banned?
Correct. Well, I'm sure that she said something different to the fine people at Bumble.
Oh, okay.
Brian Henshin's explaining, I'm mining hashtags, and Ken said there are posts on the fan page about him sleeping. I ain't seen one yet. That's from Brian Henshin.
I'm not on the fan page. I don't know. That's usually what they do. They take a picture, look, he's sleeping, and then put it on the fan page.
Screenshot.
Here, I
bandits.
close my eyes. Take a picture. Now go ahead and post it.
I'm sure they got that.
Keep doing you, Jackson. They all jealous.
Damn
Hashtag
right.
gang gang.
Yeah.
That's from Monsignor Grundle.
That's right.
All right. The Colonel is going to join us on the other side of the break, along with James Carlton, who presents Gabe every Monday here on TMA. This is the Morning After, presented to you by Brown & Croup.
Elevate your performance. Pure Performance is your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications, known for their top quality work and outstanding customer service. It's officially Jeep and Bronco season. Pure Performance carries any accessory for your vehicle, old models to brand new. From sunshades, soft tops, trail doors, to off-road gear like bumpers and light bars, Pure Performance has you covered. Stop by the Pure Performance showroom at 3725 Harry S. Truman Boulevard in St. Charles, or visit pureperformance.com. That's PURperformance.com.
When it comes to coverage, you want the best, on and off the field.
Hi, I'm Marvin Burks. I'm the safety on the field, and I trust James Carlton State Farm to be my safety net off the field.
Thanks, Marvin. Whether it's a game-changing tackle or safeguarding your future, we have you covered. Check us out online at carltoninsurance.net.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
If you're seriously hurt in an accident, you'll want all the money you deserve. That's called justice. But there wouldn't be lawyers if justice was easy. No, justice is not easy. It's fought for and it's won. At Brown & Crouppen, we fight for justice every day. If you want some, call 222-2222. Because at Brown & Crouppen, justice is our business.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood, or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Hustle and Heart Sports Performance is the one-stop shop for St. Louis area football-specific and athletic training located in O'Fallon, Missouri. Hustle and Heart utilizes the top trainers in St. Louis, led by its owner, 8-year NFL vet Pierre Desir. We have a 40-yard turf field, college-style weight room, red light sauna, and a state-of-the-art recovery room to service all of your athletes' needs. For more info, check out hustleandheartsportsperformance.com or call Dustin at 314-440-8457.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips that you plan in advance, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends for which you make a group chat 3 months before so that nobody or anything is missing? Or your daughter's first birthday party. You planned it with such dedication that instead of the first, it felt like our 15s. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster, so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. Introducing the first ever TMA Banty Brew, a 16-ounce canned wheat ale with orange and coriander and an image of all 4 TMA boys across the front. The Banty Brew, a refreshing ale made with white wheat, brown coriander, and fresh whole oranges. Head to any Salt and Smoke location today to try the TMA Banty Brew. Must be 21 or older to consume or purchase. See the can at TMASTL.com and find a participating location to try it for yourself. Brought to you by Charlottesville Brewery and Winery in St. Genevieve, Show Me Beverages, and Salt and Smoke. Find out more at TMASTL.com. KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
On KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Bill O'Brien, who coached at the Whiteout at Happy Valley, coached in one of the most intimidating venues in the NFL, Houston, and worked with Nick Saban in Tuscaloosa, said he had never heard an intro like the one at Faroe Field when this started playing at 11:45 on Saturday morning, brother.
They don't want to hear this song. The players get intimidated.
It's a song synonymous with fear.
You know, I'm surprised they even went ahead and played the game.
Listen to this remix.
The Megatron
It would be
voice.
funny if they ran on the field to this one.
Wouldn't it?
People would like it.
Everyone, like, the band gets to stay home that day. Just have some guy in the office.
Didn't Joshua ruin Colby Rasmus's career?
He did, but that trade led to the Cardinals winning the World Series. So it depends on your perspective, James. That's James Carlton. He's in every Monday at 9 o'clock because we're joined by the Colonel, Gabriel P.D. Armand, here in the 9 o'clock hour. 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance sponsor the 9 o'clock hour on TMA, which is presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. You can watch on YouTube, and if you do, you're going to get the chance to interact with a real-life girl.
Oh, it's a girl!
That's what we're offering up as the opportunity.
She answered my feet question.
Yeah, I see that. Chairman Kurt asked how she felt about her feet.
What'd she say?
And then another listener asked if she was into women, and she wrote, KG, I love feet, but only women's. I'm a pure lesbian here.
It's a guy. Just trying to play for your affections, Tim.
This is a dude.
Definitely a guy. Doggone it.
You want me to bump Gabe and have her call in?
Let her know that we'll get her on right after the Colonel. But my guess is the Colonel would listen to this and just hang up, as he's probably pondering right now. Gabe DeArmond joins us on the Collier and Thompson phone lines, presented to you by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, carltoninsurance.net. Morning, Colonel.
Hey, I was going to nominate myself for Listener of the Month, but frankly, at this point, I don't know if I want that.
Oh, come on.
Clip that off. We can run it in a Milagro Tequila spot.
You'll still get votes, though.
You will. Colonel, I got a chance to watch the post game. I think I watched it in its entirety. I don't know what that says for me in my social calendar, but I watched it, had it on the on television, watching the whole thing, and you were amused because you asked for the listeners to drink. And they did, and then they started screaming about Brady Cook. And you got your entertainment on Saturday in the post-game show.
Yeah, look, the more adult language on the post-game show, the better. I don't know YouTube's rules, but we managed to stay on. It hasn't been taken down yet, so I guess that's good. I didn't even hit the explicit language button.
It's a great show for Missouri fans. I big time recommend that post-game show. And this was the first game where Missouri was put to the test, and we saw how they responded. And I guess if I'm thinking about that game, and if you said, okay, you got to isolate one specific thought, I think it would be you're in a spot where, in a way, the season is kind of teetering on the brink when you're down 14-3. I suppose you could say that's hyperbolic because it's a non-conference game. But either way, you lose that game and you're losing 14-3. How are you going to respond? How are you going to respond when you're put to the test? And we saw Missouri respond. And even though the score, I think, indicates one thing, I think if you watched that game, I don't necessarily think that the score was indicative of how much Missouri dominated after the first quarter, in particular with shutting down Boston College offensively and on the ground. What would you say about that, Gabe?
Yeah, in the second half, BC never had the ball with the chance to tie or lead. Once Missouri got to 24-14, the last touchdown pass was suboptimal. It was the only thing you can't do there, which is allow them an easy touchdown to, theoretically get back in it. But then Missouri never gave them the ball back. They needed a 3rd and 6, and they got it. They needed a 3rd and 2, and they got it. I thought there were probably 3 plays in that part of the game where you're talking about that it might be a little much to say save the season. But look, you go down 21-3, that's a different thing. The first one, I think, was actually at 7-0 when Brady Cook's pass got batted up in the air. That was a pick 6 until Brady reached in and knocked the ball out of the defender's hands. And, that game at 14-0 looks a lot different. And then the next set was BC has a pretty good first down play. They get called for holding and get set back in 1st and 20. And I know there's a lot of angst about the penalties Missouri had, but I thought that penalty was the biggest of the game because when a team like BC gets in 1st and when most teams get in 1st and 20, you can't get out of it, but especially a team that just isn't all that good throwing the ball. That put them back in 1st and 20, and then a couple snaps later, Castellanos throws the pick to Treves Johnson, which I thought flipped the whole game. I thought those 3 plays were probably the ones that you look back at and say, okay, the game changed there. Missouri got its feet under it and survived.
As I watch the games, Gabe, I always wonder why they don't try to target Luther Burden more than they do. Is that just me thinking like a stupid fan, or is there something going on there?
It took a little longer than you would like. Toward the end of the first quarter, we started talking in the press box, and the worry with a player like that is if you don't get him involved early, he kind of checks out. And I'm not saying that Luther would, but it's a concern, right? When your best player is not getting the football, especially if you're down 14-3. But Drinkwood said after the game, hey, if it was the second half and he hadn't touched the ball, I'd be a little bit more worried. But he said, we've got a lot of players. And, Nate Noel had 120 yards. Theo Weiss had 150 receiving last week. Like, they've got a lot of guys. There will be days where I think Luther's biggest contribution is just drawing people away from other guys. But, yeah, you'd like to – I'd like to force him a touch on one of the first 2 series pretty much every game, even if it's just a handoff or, a jet sweep or a screen pass, whatever. Just get him the football, even if it's not productive, just so, hey, he's kind of in the game.
Gabe, good morning. I actually brought headphones along with me for the drive back so that I can volunteer and sit in the back seat to listen to the postgame show.
Oh, really?
How about that? The company in the car was very impressed.
I bet they were.
But I feel like you and I are turning into these Brady Cook apologists. He missed some throws. Jamal Roberts, he aired it over his head. He missed one to Mookie Cooper, but he threw a rope on Luther Burden's first catch. He threw one in the breadbasket of Theo Weiss, which either his right arm was being held or for some reason only stuck out his left arm, and he missed that throw. Mookie dropped one on a 3rd and long. At least I thought he could have had it. I'll tell you this. If I had one quarterback in Mizzou history to have a game-winning drive, he's in the conversation. He's a gamer. I trust him. He doesn't turn the ball over, knock on wood. He had 6 picks last year. He has 1 this year, which was a 4th down where he kind of had to throw it. I have more confidence in him to get something done than I would a Drew Lock, a Blaine Gabbert, who are both highly recruited right arms.
What about Chase Daniel?
No, Chase is the GOAT. No, that's the exception. But are we really sitting here concerned that Brady Cook is going to be the reason that prevents Mizzou to have the season that they're going to have?
Are we? No. Are some people? Yes. Look, if your standard for quarterback play is he missed some throws, literally every quarterback on the planet sucks. I mean,
gosh,
I just don't. I don't know when the standard became he has to be Yeah, he missed a few throws. He was 21 for 30 with at least 2 drops. That is if those 2 passes are caught, that is a 75% completion rate with no turnovers. That's good enough. I mean, if that's not good enough, nobody's good enough. I'm not trying to like insult anybody in particular here, but I think a lot of people's analysis of football has become so simplistic. Well, we win or lose because of the quarterback, and that's it. It just isn't that simple. There are maybe 4 quarterbacks on the planet, and I think one of them's retired, who can go win a game with the rest of his team playing average or below average football. They're all in the NFL, and they've all won MVPs, and they're probably all going to be in the Hall of Fame. If that is your standard for Brady Cook, he is going to fall short of it. He hasn't been perfect. He has been plenty good so far. If he plays the game he played on Saturday 9 more times, I think Missouri's a playoff team.
Gabe DeArmond with us, brought to you by James Carlton. James in studio is online at carltoninsurance.net. He's my insurance agent. I recommend him becoming yours at 314-961-4800. The Colonel made the switch to James Carlton as well.
Is that right?
Yeah, he did. carltoninsurance.net. Gabe, in the postgame show, one of the things you and Gerard Hamilton were talking about is the running game, and both of you made it clear it wasn't a shot at Cody Schrader, but Missouri has not lost anything in its ability to run the football. And I think while I was watching that, even though they were down, that was the thing that made me think inevitably this is going to turn, because Boston College just could not stop either one of them, which really speaks to both the backs but also Missouri's ability to run block. Your thoughts on the Tigers' running game?
Yeah, and you throw Brady Cook in there as part of it, and I don't know what the stats say. I don't know where they rank nationally, but they can run the football very well. The one thing that really has stood out, there just aren't any negative plays. They aren't losing 3 yards on a run, right? Even the bad plays, and this was, I thought, Cody's biggest strength. Even the bad plays get 2 or 3 yards. If you run the football for 3 yards on first down, 2nd and 7, you're in great shape. You can do anything you want there. You can run it again. You can throw. You've got all the options. And for everybody who's really nervous about the deep ball right now, the longer you continue to run the football well, the more teams have to respect it, which means, hey, we got to bring a guy closer to the line of scrimmage. When you fake a handoff, we've got to believe that your running back might have the ball, and then that opens up things downfield.
I thought the kicker, Blake Craig, looked very good. What do you think about him? Did they know that he was going to be this good a kicker?
They thought he was. But kicker is one of those things that you don't really know until you get into a game. And he went 1 for 3 in the first week, or in the second week, I guess. But the misses were 52 and 49, and so I wasn't super concerned. I mean, the one at the end of the first half on Saturday, I forget, 54 maybe, but I mean, it would have been good from 10 yards further out. He crushed that ball. If there was no net, that ball might have ended up on the hill. So he has made all the important kicks. Well, he hasn't. I mean, he's had one important kick, if we're honest, because that one at the end of the first half I thought was big. For Missouri to go into the locker room leading that game after the way they had played was probably a big shot to BC. But I wrote after the game, I said, I don't think anybody would have imagined after last year that it was possible for Missouri to be better at kicker. And I'm not saying yet that they are better, but I think it's a possibility.
Well, back to the running game, I thought going into this one you would see Drinkwitz ride one guy like he historically has over his tenure at Missouri. And it looked like that guy was Nate Noel. I mean, he had the bulk of the carries those first 3 or 4 drives. And then I look up on the 2-minute drill there at the end of the half, and it's Marcus Carroll in. So at this stage, I mean, who do you think is the guy if they need one drive? Which one of these guys do you think Drinkwitz would go with?
I think mostly Noel, but it depends on the situation and how they're playing that day. I mean, I rewatched a little bit of the game last night, and Matt Stinchcomb was saying that what Drinkwitz told him is Noel's going to get the first 2 series, Marcus Carroll's going to get the next 2 series, and then we're going to see where it's at that point. And so I think unless over these next 3 weeks one of them just really separates himself, I think that's what you're going to go into. I mean, I think Noel will lead the team in carries and snaps. He's got about a 2-to-1 edge over Carroll right now, but Carroll clearly is more involved and has more potential probably than any backup running back has under Drinkwitz. I mean, the only year where I thought Drinkwitz mismanaged it a little bit was Larry Roundtree's last year, where Tyler Beatty, when he got chances, was great. He just didn't get very many chances. But other than that, I mean, last year I know Cody had 78% of the carries. If anything, I'd argue he probably deserved more of them. So I haven't had any issue with the way Drinkwitz has handled it really through his first 4 years.
Gabe DeArmond with us, brought to you by James Carlton. He joins us on the Collier and Thompson phone lines. You're welcome to send in your 2-part questions for the Colonel. Schaefer Door Company, text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Gabe, I saw the thread on Power Mizzou yesterday in which you asked your readers to give their assessment so far, a quarter of the way through the regular season schedule, relative also to their expectations before the season. And I saw what your observation is that you are now more bullish on Missouri and see them as a potential 11-win team, more so than you did a month ago. Mainly, though, not because of Missouri's performance so much as some of the opposition that they have left not looking particularly good. Elaborate on that, if you would.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is Missouri's defense is better, faster than I thought it was going to be, and I still think this offense is going to be fine. But when I look at the rest of the schedule, I mean, yeah, BC's better than we thought, but they've already beaten BC, so that doesn't factor into expectations. Vandy, maybe they're better than you thought, but they just lost to Georgia State. And that's not a good Georgia State team. Texas A&M, they lost to a Notre Dame team that turned around and lost to Northern Illinois, and maybe it changes now that Marcel Reed is in at quarterback. Maybe they make a permanent switch and A&M is better. But I've watched that A&M team and just thought, I don't think they can score with Missouri. If Missouri plays well, they should win that game. That was certainly a swing game at the beginning of the season, but I think Missouri should win it. Auburn's not a good football team. That was one that I had kind of on, hey, this one could bite you. It shouldn't bite you. Missouri should win that game. South Carolina is definitely better than we thought. But let's see where they're at in a month when Missouri plays them. I think Arkansas is probably a little better than I thought, but let's see where they're at. Mississippi State, I think, is unquestionably worse. And I think Oklahoma's worse. I mean, Oklahoma probably should have lost to Houston, and they beat Tulane, and that was good, but, that game was certainly in doubt at the beginning of the fourth quarter in Norman. I think OU was up 6 points or something like that at that point. So, to me, I look and I see four of the last 9 teams on Missouri's schedule are not as good as I thought they were going to be.
Does Mizzou have any kind of glaring weakness that you can see that other teams will try to exploit?
Not yet. I don't know that we've seen a team that's capable of exploiting it. But BC, what they do really well is run the football, and they couldn't run the football at all against Missouri. If they can't run the football at all, then, hey, you're okay. I mean, I'm still a little wary of the secondary because, again, I don't think they've played a team that's really tested them, and there were 2 huge breakdowns on Saturday. I thought the secondary play was probably the weakest part of the game on Saturday. So when they go, if Marcel Reed's good and A&M's going to test that, we'll find out. We may not honestly find out till they go to Alabama, and Jalen Milroe is going to test a bunch of people with his wide receivers. So, that's the question I have probably is the pass defense. Is your pass rush good enough to get there and help out a secondary that we'll see?
Gabe, 2 quick ones for you. After covering Mizzou last year and cheering for your Chiefs, are you ever going to be worried about a 4th and long with the game on the line again? And then secondly, which transfer, 25% through the season has impressed you the most?
Yes, I'll continue to be worried anytime a team gets in 4th and 16. I still think the odds are probably not great that you're going to convert that. The transfers, I'd probably have to go with Chris McClellan at defensive tackle. I mean, he has lived in the backfield. He was a guy that everybody kind of said, hey, the talent's there, but the motor is a little bit of a question. He's never really put it all together. I think you can argue maybe he's been Missouri's best defensive player so far. Corey Flagg I'd put in that conversation too, the transfer linebacker from Miami. But if I got to pick one, I'm probably going McClellan.
You said you worried about 4th and long. How about 2nd and 59, was it? Or was it 49? Was it 59 officially?
59.
Yeah.
It was 59. I would, probably suggest you try not to get in that situation again. Yeah. Although, as I said on Saturday, what I've always liked about covering sports is that you may just show up and see something you've never seen before. And there's probably been a 2nd and 59 in the history of football, but I've not seen it.
Yeah, not a lot of plays in the playbook to cover that.
Yeah, they picked up like 25 or 30 yards, though. And then,
funny thing was they got 25 on the 2nd down.
Made a little Sunday charge. Hey, Colonel, a topic that I also saw you writing about and could certainly get more and more attention. Perhaps today, maybe over the next couple of weeks, I don't know, whenever Billy Napier's time in Gainesville is over, is Eli Drinkwitz and the Florida job, Lane Kiffin and the Florida job. We talked about it on Friday on Balloon Party, but for our TMA listeners who didn't hear that conversation, what are your thoughts on Eli Drinkwitz and the Florida Gators?
Yeah, so I've done some checking on this, and news kind of started to come out Saturday night, like, hey, Napier's probably done maybe as soon as tomorrow. It doesn't appear it's happening this week, but everything you read out of Florida is, hey, this is over. It's just a matter of when it's over. I mean, when Andy Staples, who is a Florida alum, starts writing, hey, it's time, he's not doing that completely on his own, right? He's hearing. I mean, generally you wait to bury a coach until you know he's buried, because people always say, well, why won't you call for this guy to get fired? Because if he doesn't get fired, I got to cover him. And it just makes the relationship worse and both people's jobs harder. So when those things start coming out, that tells me it's done. I believe Eli will be on Florida's list, probably in the top 2 or 3. After checking around, I don't believe he's probably at the top of that list, and I'm not sure the list ever makes it to him. If I had to put odds, I would lean toward he stays at Missouri over he is coaching at Florida. Even if the opportunity arises, I think there's probably a better than 50% chance that he would stay here. But I don't really know that he's going to even have that option.
Because the Lane train gets it and goes?
That seems to be the prevailing thought right now, yes.
Yeah. Randy Carricker came in when Jackson and I were talking about Drinkwitz and the possibility of leaving after this season, and he brought up the Arkansas job. What are your thoughts on that?
I think if Sam Pittman is fired, I think Arkansas is not doing its job if it doesn't at least put a call in. I just can't see it. I understand it's his home state. I get that. And, I know Mike Anderson left for it. Well, Arkansas is overall, historically, it's a better basketball program than Missouri. Football, I don't think it's a better program. It's certainly not a better program right now. And I think I said this on your show on Friday. If it happened, Eli Drinkwitz would go from build the statue and give him everything he wants to, bar none, the most hated man in the history of Missouri athletics. I don't even think it's a conversation. I don't see it. I think Arkansas has to make the call. It's just not a move I could see him making.
Gabe Yarman.
How would the Power Mizzou threads be looking after that day? Break the server?
Oh, I would triple subscription rates in the I mean, I would post one time. I would say, say anything you want. We're moderating nothing, and I would just sit back and read it for the next 8
Computer would catch fire.
Well, Gary Pinkel wasn't a Missouri native, and once he got it going, he
we
wasn't
still get Dominic Lovett threads. We still get Barry Odom threads.
Really?
I mean, Drinkwitz? Come on, man.
Huh. Now, the important question was they had like 62,000, another sellout on a Gold Rush day, but I noticed a lot of the fans were wearing shirts more yellow than gold. Did that upset you as much as it did me?
Oh, boy.
Here is the way I approach this. Just wear what you want.
Okay.
Like, I don't need somebody to tell me what clothes. I mean, sometimes my wife has to tell me what clothes to wear, but like, I don't need somebody to tell me how to dress when I go to a football game. That's fine. That's gold. If you want to wear a purple shirt, wear a purple shirt if you think you look good in purple. It's kind of like, hey, I'm going to this restaurant. What should I get? Well, I don't know, man. What do you like? Get them to listen to you. Like, don't ask me, because I might like different food than you like. So just look at the menu, decide what looks good, and get that. You look in your closet on Saturday morning, you say, you know what, I think this is the shirt I want to wear. Wear that shirt to the game. You're good.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm hungry for white helmets.
You think it's a white helmet Saturday against Vanderbilt?
No, I think they go gold helmets, all black uniforms.
Black helmet, block M, please.
Write that down, Gabe, and then we'll check on Thursday.
I will absolutely never again think about that. They're going to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Colonel, and he writes for PowerMizzou.com, and he joins us on Mondays here on TMA and Fridays on Bloom Party, presented by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, online at carltoninsurance.net. Thank you, Colonel.
All right, guys, have a good one.
There he is.
Thanks,
That's Gabe
Gabe.
Yarman with us here.
You know, to me, gold is gold and yellow is yellow, and those shirts were yellow.
Jackson? Yeah,
Boston College was wearing gold.
Yes, they wear yellow now. It's called gold, but it's okay. But next week, I think they'll wear what they wore against K-State last year. Black jersey, black pants, gold helmet. Or yellow, as Doug
Tim, are you taking questions?
Of course.
Okay. So was it, I don't know if it was 2021-ish.
It was a 2020
on QFTA, you set the over-under that Drinkwitz would not be the head coach for one reason or another by some year. Was it 25, 26? Well, has your sentiment changed on that? Because I think your thought process was he'll either get fired or he's going to look for greener pastures.
That's exactly right. That's how Jackson and I got on the conversation. I don't know if you were listening to Bloom Party when Randy Carricker came in and then brought up the Tyson Foods magnate who is on a mission to get Drinkwitz.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how that conversation got going last week. And I said to Jackson, I think I put it at like 67% or something like that. I like to assign arbitrary probabilities that the feeling toward Eli Drinkwitz that exists right now for most Missouri fans will change substantially between now and I guess the end of January, I suppose, for one of two reasons. Either the team falls well short of what the expectations are this year, or he leaves and goes to another program. And the one I was focused on, for the most part, was Florida, and that's when Randy walked in and started talking about the Arkansas thing. So that's how Gabe and I talked about it on Friday. I personally think that if I'm a college football coach in Drinkwitz's spot, I'm trying to think of somebody else who's kind of a god in a non-blue blood place right now.
Kiffin kind of is, right?
That's a little blue bloody.
Really? Ole Miss is blue blood?
It's in a blue blood. It's where football is religion, like that area of the country is where football is religion.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's a blue blood.
No,
I don't know. I don't see
football
that.
means more to them. Than
I get Lane Kiffin going to Gainesville. I get that. I don't know.
I would get that too. But Lane seems.
I don't know who else. I don't know who else would fall into that category that's kind of popped up. I mean, I guess you could have said in a way, Kalen DeBoer.
Dan Lanning.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Who?
That's a blue blood. I put Oregon in blue blood.
Was Oregon ever good, like in the 70s or 80s, or is that a recent phenomenon? Is that a Phil Knight?
Phil Knight? But in the last 20 years, they're a brand name.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, when I think of blue bloods in college football, I'm like going back like decades and decades and like I'd still consider Nebraska blue blood, even though it's been 2 decades of crap. Either way, point being, I think that if I'm a college coach and I've got it going, and I don't know this, but I feel confident that he had a role in the Desiree Reed-Francois situation, which meant he was now wearing the crown in Columbia, that if I'm him, I just don't want to mess with a place like Gainesville or Knoxville where you've seen
I mean, what have they gone through? Muschamp, McElwain,
Brian Harsin,
Mullen.
Oh, he took Gainesville.
Yeah, and then Napier. I mean, it's just like there's a rotation. Yeah. You're in a great spot. I don't think that stuff matters as much now. I think it's a case by case thing. I still do not think that Eli Drinkwitz's mindset is the same as Gary Pinkel's, and that doesn't mean one's right and one's wrong. And I think when I would make this observation, some Missouri fans took it as, oh, you think that he's wrong. Career ambition, hey, if you're happy doing whatever, God bless America. Some people are hungry. Pinkel had the chance with Michigan after the 2007 season, didn't do it. But for every one Gary Pinkel who's in that mindset, how many... whoever you would want to call the hungry, Bobby Petrino, I guess. And I know Petrino carries the connotation of the intern and the motorcycle accident and the famous image of him on the neck brace. But I mean, the thing that really pissed people off initially was that he left, Louisville for the Falcons?
In the middle of the
night.
And then the Falcons left them in the middle of the night.
So that's more common. I'm just not sure the circumstances are the same as they were in 2007, especially with Missouri and the NIL, but then especially, I think, with coaches going, God, I don't know if the grass is always greener on the other side. And I think that is what may have changed. And now you can win places in 2024 and probably in the near future that it might not have been as realistic to win 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's changed, but yet the standard... there will be some people, I would imagine, who will be pissed off, who are Missouri fans, if Missouri goes 9-3 this year.
Sure.
But overall, it wouldn't be the same reaction if, I don't know who would be a good comp would be at this point. I guess
Bama coming off Saban. Yeah.
Bama's Bama. I don't know, Tennessee maybe? I don't know. And Tennessee's got certainly a hell of a lot more difficult schedule than Missouri does. I think Ole Miss is just a different situation. I feel like Ole Miss is...
I just think because football's religion down there.
I don't know.
Partying's religion.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's exactly what I think. I don't think partying is. I don't think the standard is we got to win here.
I get a different feeling. But
I don't know. I don't see it that way at all with Ole Miss. I think they'd like to, but they're just kind of like whatever. That's why I think it's Lane Kiffin goes to Florida.
But he also has an upward momentum kind of mentality.
That's what I'm saying.
He's shown that he will go anywhere that's a better option.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I agree with Gabe's assessment and how Gabe said, Drinkwitz will be on the top 2 on the list, but I don't even think it gets to him. And then I said, I guess you're thinking.
Yeah. I'd be stunned if Drinkwitz left right now because he's got it going in a big way. Everybody loves him right now. He's well paid. He's got a good NIL situation in this state, and he's got people like James Carlton shoveling millions of dollars into
billions. I heard. I've seen billions.
Bees.
Yeah. I don't. The state is just ripe for someone to come in and pluck players out of St. Louis and Kansas City. Did you see the other day? There's 13 NFL players from St. Louis.
I did. Yeah.
We got some talent here, and finally, it looks like someone has tapped into all that.
And I'm telling you, I mean, even though not many people probably will remember the Boston College game unless Boston College wins the ACC, which I think is possible, and then goes on and who knows does whatever this year. But the fact that building was packed like it was, and you were there, and I was watching it on television for an 11:45 kick against Boston College on a beautiful day in which people in St. Louis and Kansas City and Springfield, wherever else, could have gone and done something else, and people came down for that thing. That stuff matters. The fact that half of the state theoretically doesn't have an NFL team to cheer for is a huge thing that, Gary Pinkel did not have. Had the Rams at the time, had the Chiefs at the time. So the opportunity is there, and I've always thought, and that's why I would get frustrated with Missouri fans going, oh, it can't happen here. Well, 7-5 is a good year. And I'm just going, God, it can happen here. And now I think whether people are thinking that way, the actions of the fan base, of the donors are speaking to, hey, we're ready to be a big-time program. And I don't know if there are too many other programs that are kind of in that weird spot that really haven't been a big-time program, but are moving up at the rate that Missouri is, both with the NIL and with the fan base's enthusiasm. the other ones that would be in that category are all ones that have had it before, but just haven't had it recently. I guess Tennessee would kind of be in that category, although they had the Alabama win 2 years ago in Knoxville. But it's been a while for Tennessee to be, in the mix for a college football playoff or BCS or, berth, even though they have a national championship, unlike Missouri. So, yeah, I think it's a different set of circumstances than, say, 17 years ago with Pinkel in Michigan, or even 5 years ago when Drinkwitz was hired. I don't know what the job would be that he would go, I got to take it if it's there. If Saban would have retired after this year and you get that opportunity, is that a different thing? I don't know if Kalen DeBoer goes anywhere other than Washington unless it's Alabama. You know what I mean?
I can see that. Yeah.
What about the little Southern Belle down in Baton Rouge?
Boy, he was a field goal away, or some interesting officiating calls away from being on the Billy Napier.
Yeah.
I don't think
train.
Drinkwitz has the resume yet to be included in the Alabama job searches.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's got the blueprint.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying if Missouri would have had a similar year to last year again, and then Saban retires this year instead of last year, I think then he is up in that kind of conversation. But yeah, I don't think he was ever mentioned seriously for the Alabama job last year. Yet Norvell was. Obviously DeBoer got it. But you also see how coaches, their trends can move. I mean, the obvious one is what's going on in Clemson. I mean, that's quite a situation. I don't know if he would be interested in that if that were to come open. God, what's the name of the dude who's at Baylor? He was a star.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Aranda, right?
Yeah.
And I know from a lot of people, they go, who the hell's Dave Aranda? But that was a guy that was an absolute star. Matt Rule was a star. He might be getting it going. We'll see. ILL gets them in Lincoln on Friday night.
The Iowa State guy a couple years ago.
Yeah, Matt Campbell. Mm-hmm. It can go quickly. I think the circumstances have changed in Columbia, but in college football as a whole, where you can get snagged, and I don't think the championship necessarily belongs to like 6 programs anymore,
right? Yeah.
Because of the playoff. So I think that has changed. But I mean, hey man, I don't know. Gary, my main thing with Pinkel, by the way, I remember sitting down with him the first time he was in St. Louis and he got hired and was doing an interview from KMOV, and I think he had just gotten hired, 2 days ago. And we're at that, was it the Edward Jones building that's to the north of West County Mall, whatever is it, Manchester and 270?
Have their affairs
right.
and events there.
And it was just kind of me and Pinkel and our photographer. And before we got going, he talked about, we were just BSing, and he talked about how it killed him to leave Toledo. Killed him. And that's, to me, a personality trait. I find that to be an admirable personality trait.
Yeah.
It also can play a role in keeping you from taking opportunities that may better you individually. But if you want to stay, I don't like the word loyalty there, but you feel like if you told people something, you're going to do your damnedest to come through on it. And you're like, I recruited those guys, and their parents, and they expected me to be there. And so it's a tough spot. And to me, that's an admirable personality trait. And I'm not saying it's wrong if you go, well, that's part of the deal. They know I might leave, and I'm going to go just like 9 out of 10 coaches would go. And I personally like that, but I also recognize circumstances dictate where you might want to move on, or a program wants to move on. It cuts both ways. So that's why I looked at him that way. And I think Missouri got incredibly lucky to hire a guy that was in that spot, because otherwise the run that started in 2007, good chance it comes to an end after 2007 and he goes somewhere else, whether it be Ann Arbor or elsewhere. We got another 8 years of it because he just was one of those guys, like, I'm not going anywhere. That's just not. And meanwhile, I would be interviewing Quinn Snyder at the same time, and he'd be asking me about jobs, when we were off air. Like, who do you think's going to get that Washington job? What do you think of the Washington job? I'm like, I don't know. I'm at the Stag Bar until 5 in the morning. We got that in common, probably. But other than that, I'm not really the guy to be bounced. And I think Lorenzo Romar actually took it.
Oh, yeah. He was a great guy.
Yeah. So anyway, I know it's 9:48 and you got to get going, and we got to get going. But always good to have the conversation.
Go Tigers.
There's James Carlton.
Thanks, James.
There he is. Fight Tiger. Beat Commodore. Doug, producer Joe's alma mater, got him this weekend.
Yeah, Georgia State.
Georgia State.
They'll get anybody. They're like a snake in the weeds.
Marcus Carroll. We like watching him. He was running for Georgia State last year.
I've got some things I need to tell people about, and I want to tell them about it real nice like. And one of those things I want to tell people about is Mentality. Mentality's online at lowtusa.com. It's FDA-approved testosterone treatment. If you're dealing with low energy, low motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, fatigue, tired all the time, feeling anxious, feeling moody, irritable, those can be symptoms of low testosterone. Mentality is a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Testosterone therapy helps men regain normal function and restores the ability to perform normally at all levels. Compete at work and at sports like you did years ago with Mentality. Low T, USA.com. Jackson Burkett would like to tell you about Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies, and he's going to do it now. Yeah.
I am going to do it right now.
Yeah.
If you're out there, maybe you're in my shoes. You're in your mid-20s and you're starting to make a little bit of money and you want to start saving.
Humble brag. Wow.
Well, I think everybody...
What are you making?
Well, unless you
when
are
they going to
living-
publish your income?
Unless you're... that would be a short article. Unless you're talking about, maybe you want to save... just your first couple years out of college, maybe you're in your mid-30s, maybe you're just kind of discussing your financial needs and you want to talk to somebody about it. You want to have a plan going forward. You talk to Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. You get on the phone with him, 15, 20-minute phone call to discuss your needs. He'll help walk you through a plan. Next thing you know, you got it taken care of. And if you need to get on the phone with Mark Hanna, call him, talk it over about it all. You can do that. He loves talking to his clients. He's so good at conveying his message. Call Mark Hanna today.
That number is 314-889-0503 or go online at evergreenstl.com. It's Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. If you don't have dental insurance, that's not a problem at 100 West Dental. The membership plan at 100 West Dental aids in the cost of dental work for those who do not have dental insurance. It's 100westdental.com, 100westdental.com, or you can call Dr. Brandon Pryor and his staff at 636-585-0100. I went to the 100 West Dental offices a couple weeks ago. Wow, now I understand what they're talking about with the new technology that they have in that office. It is a different kind of operation. You think of an old school dentist office. This is a different deal at 100 West Dental. If you're interested in Invisalign, give them my name when you call 636-585-0100, and you get $1,000 off an Invisalign package. If you're on the fence about Invisalign, they have a digital scanner that can show you a simulation of what it'll look like before you even go through with it. It's 100westdental.com, 100westdental.com. I think we're caught up.
Yes, sir.
Well, it feels like it.
I'm reading this thing that Chairman Kurt sent us about Demi Moore doing nude scenes in her 60s.
Oh.
Yep.
Chairman Kurt, what's going on there?
That doesn't sound familiar to me.
I sent that.
Oh, really? Okay, what are you?
She's just still getting nude, still doing her thing.
Is that right? Really? In films? Mm-hmm. Iggy, are you familiar with what film she's naked in?
I'm not. I don't know if she's done a film in 10 years.
Well, she's definitely done stuff.
And she's getting nakers, like eggs and bakers?
I like Julianne more than
Julianne. Wow, I'm surprised you bring her up. That's off-brand for you.
Julianne Moore. I like her more than Demi Moore. I know they're not related.
As far as...
just everything. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, I feel like if we put a Gallup poll up...
All included. I like Julianne Moore better.
She's a better actress than Demi Moore, but...
Right.
But appearance-wise?
Well, talent also is a part of what attracts me.
No, really?
Yeah.
I understand.
Like, if you're really talented at what you do, that's hot. So, like, obviously,
really?
Tim makes me drool.
Yep.
Oh,
Chairman Kurt,
come on.
Chairman Kurt, will you come in? I have to pee so bad.
Oh, my God.
Show in a row you've not been able to get through because of your bladder.
That's a 26-year-old prostate that man has.
What's going on?
So bad.
Did you like her?
I got 2 seconds.
Did you like her in Boogie Nights when they were doing cocaine? Can you be my mommy?
Yeah, that scene rocks. That scene is the best.
Where did Demi Moore get naked lately in her 60s?
Well, it was Jackson's link, but he just left.
He had to go.
Milko, read the link? I'm just curious what movie she got naked in.
I had a Demi Moore link up. Oh, I'm in the morning after inbox now, so I don't have it.
I'll go look.
I'd be curious. I'm sure you're curious.
I'll Mr. Skin it this afternoon.
You have to be a superstar in your 60s to still pull that off.
But she's still
There's not many
attractive.
that could.
You could do it.
I guarantee
Oh,
you.
sure. Who
Well,
says
once you
I
get-
haven't already?
I think once you get fake boobs, no matter how old you are, they stay there, don't they?
But the rest
Fake
of the
boobs
rest of the
can't
package
sag.
could still fall apart badly.
Well, maybe she's not showing the rest of the package, just the boobs.
I don't know. Looks like she's in great shape whenever I see her.
Oh, she is.
She looks like
You
she
can
hasn't
tell
changed much.
in striptease, not only did she get the fake boobs for striptease, but she worked out. You can tell how tight her calves and her thighs were.
Oh, gosh. Starting to get creepy.
Like, I'm commenting on how well she looked.
Well, when you start talking about calves and things.
Well, I mean, she was a stripper, so she was showing most of her. She always had a G-string on, but you could tell how in shape she was.
She would bring women to bed for Ashton Kutcher.
Okay.
Talking about Mila Kunis.
And that got your
Demi Moore.
synapses firing?
Oh, God. Demi Moore.
Okay.
You're all right. You're still bouncing around.
Oh, we're good now.
Well, you weren't gone very long for someone who had to go as
really.
desperately as you did.
The store's right
I know,
there.
but usually it requires a minute and a half or so if you got to go that bad.
Did you wash your hands?
Of course. You want to smell my fingers?
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Oh.
Right here.
Now you know how a 70-year-old man feels when we go an hour and 50 minutes on a break and I'm sitting there shaking my leg.
Yeah, well.
I never have to.
Either that or I was going to leak on the floor here, so.
Really?
Yeah,
How would you like it if there was Brian on our floor?
Usually, natural adrenaline when you're live on the air will keep you from having to go to the bathroom or sneeze or cough or any of that, usually.
Your adrenaline's going when you're doing this show?
No, but I mean, you're more awake than you are when you're not doing a show.
I agree with that in a vacuum, but I had to pee really bad.
Yeah, and that's all that mattered.
Buck Swope in the YouTube chat says, odds Iggy's taking a 3-hour nap.
No, I don't take 3-hour naps.
I did.
I don't take
Too
naps
long.
anymore. I used
Tell
to.
me.
I used to love taking naps. I'm with you, though. I take a nap now and I wake up and I probably feel crappier than I
Yeah,
was
that's the deal. That's the
Because
worst.
it messes with your biorhythm.
Glad the nap was more important than our league, Jackson.
Wow. Chairman Kurt.
I needed sleep. I can be 26, I could be 106. The human body needs sleep. And I was deprived of it.
Well, why not sleep at night?
Try.
And you toss and turn?
Yeah, it gets away.
Could it be because your face is face down in the pillow?
Yeah, that might be it. You might not be breathing.
It's waking up at 4:30 every day. That kind of like I don't go to bed at 8 o'clock. You know.
Even on the weekends, you still wake up. Your body wakes you up at 4:30.
No, but 7. Like I can't.
Really? Is that right?
Yeah, but I can usually get back to sleep for another hour or two.
Hey, we got the Design Air Heating and Cooling email now. Here. I'll close my eyes. Take a picture. Thanks, and Young. That's from #1 Asian intern Brian Henson, life coach. I'm, quote, a pure lesbian, unquote.
Brian
Pure
Henson's a lesbian?
I don't know. I just read what's
It's like
in the
Magic Johnson's a pure point guard.
Brian Henson, pure
The Eiffel,
lesbian.
the Eiffel Tower, Lincoln Memorial, Taj Mahal, Eiffel Tower, Leaning Tower of Pisa. All will pale in comparison to the Tim McKernan signature monument I have hired an architect to design after today's perfect show. But this email is about sleeping on your face. Another man's face, that is. They cut my hours at the asbestos factory, so I was parking at the Green Tree Festival for some extra coinage. Up came driving a LeBaron convertible. He had the top down because he was claustrophobic. He said, I had a bad parking lot experience at Mizzou yesterday. Give me a primo spot and I will make it worth your while. I was like, not necessary. I think you're pretty cute. Don't blow it out of proportion. But he did. And the proportion was my tummy banana.
What?
Just call me Subway because within 5 minutes my footlong smelled like saliva, ham, pepperoni, cheese, and red sauce
Gosh.
from his lunch the day before.
It's a bad combo.
Then he washed down the love from my Yum Yum cannon with his bottle of water. Don't want to name names, but let's just say he is globally known and locally boned. That's from Eden, and then the last name is out.
That's really funny.
Eden Oat.
Globally known and locally boned.
It finally happened. I received a subpoena to testify in a trial called The People versus TMA. Apparently, a government official got a hold of some transcripts of a recent show, and they are appalled, to say the least. On Friday, your lead story painfully featured Jackson teaching 3 old men how to go live on Instagram. Okay, boomer, click on your profile. There should be a plus sign. Click that. Nope, your profile. Just click the plus sign under your profile. Click it. Okay, now you're live, so say something clever. I'm a lifelong TMA diehard, and even I considered driving off a bridge during that segment because, quote, the clever Instagram Live merely consisted of Tim and Iggy aggressively moaning like two dogs in heat while Chairman Kurt giggled in his booth. And somehow that wasn't even the worst part of the show because you went on to discuss finding pubic hair in your food and something called the disgust fetish. I imagine the first question from the prosecutor will be, remember, you're under oath, sir. What is boy sluts on parade? I'm going to have a tough time explaining that one to the jury. If the judge finds out about Kevin Miller's butchy penetration emails, they'll probably lock me up for just being a listener to this garbage. That's from the JV golf coach.
Yeah. JV golf coach.
Looking for spready. Made love to Jose again yesterday because he told me he'd pay me $35 per dude I bang. Find him. I need gas money and some mints. Can you pay advance? Best. Taterhead got the number, Henrique.
Taterhead got the number, Henrique.
Sadie Hawkins, Doug, the Cardinals got swept by the last place Blue Jays next to the Toronto Pointy thing and are in danger of having back-to-back losing seasons for the first time in 3 decades. Mizzou defeated 24th-ranked Boston College, but they didn't do enough to impress Austin Mock. The Cincinnati Bengals have nothing to hold their heads down about except the fact that they shot themselves in the foot with another late penalty and basically gave away their game versus the Chiefs. Tennessee blew out Kent State's 71 Dick as head coach Josh Heupel called for a surprise onside kick up 4 touchdowns. He's a horse's ass for doing it! But I think the lead is that Action Jackson Virgin Pringle Soy Boy had to forfeit his TMA Dork League. Is that what it's called?
Nope.
Football video game and was even late for his friend's party because he took an effing 3-hour Friday evening nap. Speaking of naps, it seems Ken may have squeezed 1 or 2 naps into this morning's presentation. I know he woke up to let us know he didn't watch any of the Solheim Cup, and again to encourage Chairman Kurt to sweep this IQ test under the rug, but his hijacking game was lacking. No mentions of Learn, Gobble Bowl, Caitlin Clark, the Hawk Tua girl, or that boy in Miami that he's infatuated with. I encourage everyone to get on the YouTube feed and observe the various stages of Ken's nap.
Is it on there already? Caitlin Clark had 35 yesterday.
There's the bored Ken with his eyes open trying to stay awake while going long stretches without. Then there's bored Ken on his phone, presumably replying to quote-unquote all those important emails he gets. Then there's bored Ken with his phone down and arms folded and head down so you can't see his eyes.
It's the hat. It's not me.
And then his head spontaneously pops up like he just woke up.
This YouTube's the worst.
But no, he wasn't sleeping. We're sitting here again talking about the same things. It's from Buck Swope, and that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today.
Buck Swope with a nice little email this morning. As much as it disgusts me and pains me to vote this way, I have to go with Eden Out for some of his creative writing skills.
That was about you having sex with him at Kirkwood Park.
It disgusted me. It all disgusted me.
Yeah, but yesterday.
But he has an interesting turn of a phrase.
You got the LeBaron?
I don't have
talking
a
about
LeBaron.
yesterday.
I've never had a LeBaron.
I told Miller that if you come up with something new every day, I'm probably going to vote for you. And when you come up with locally owned, locally boned, that's new, so I'm voting for Miller.
Kevin Miller has a 2-goal lead. Is this his time?
Yeah, it's looking like it.
Yeah, he's got a 2-goal lead. More than halfway through the month of September. All right, time for us to shut it down. Jackson and I are going to go down the hallway. It's fine. We will be fine.
Yeah, you will.
Balloon Party coming up on 101 ESPN, so switch your YouTube channel to go over there and enjoy the conversation with Don Peepee and I Hate Paper Straws and your mom's boyfriend. They're all very active in the Balloon Party chat. For Jackson, Bennett, Burkett, Chairman Kurt, Kenneth Iggy Strode, my brother Kevin, Douglas Elvin, Vaughn, and Tim McKernan. This has been The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crew.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
After a serious car accident, people have 2